Obamagate. Donald Trump tweeted Obamagate. It is the biggest tweet in the world. The most replied, the most retweeted, the most quoted. Obamagate. What does it mean?
Is that true? The most?
Yeah. The most.
Out of all?
Out of everything. Yeah.
Wow. That's
everything.
That's
it's
big, huh?
It's Twitter right now. Obamagate. That's all he said. Man, there's too much to talk about for Obamagate. We're not talking about Obamagate. I just had to say it because it is such a big, like, I don't know, he tweeted it and everyone was like, woo, Obamagate. No, we're talking about Elon Musk and a bunch of other stuff.
Much better.
Elon Musk said, arrest me, bro. Do it. What you gonna do? No, he actually tweeted out.
Watch, he gets arrested.
I don't think so. That'd be nuts.
I mean, Texas arrested a salon, or was it in Texas or was it Florida? It was Texas.
Texas salon owner.
A salon owner.
This is great.
I mean, it's California. It wouldn't surprise me if he got arrested.
So we actually have a very fun first hour. So we got Elon Musk basically saying, "I'm reopening. I'm reopening my factory. You can't do anything about it.
Come at me, bro.
Yeah, come arrest me." He was like, "If anyone's gonna be arrested, arrest me." And so he's getting ragged on by the left, and it's like a weird culture war thing. But Elon Musk is actually in the right for a lot of reasons we'll talk about. But this brings us to the next bit is that there's a bunch of prisoners caught on tape trying to catch COVID.
This is
you know why?
Crazy. Because they'll probably get out, right?
Exactly.
Man.
So now they're like, hey, get me sick so I can go home.
Let me get that get out of jail free COVID.
But the salon owner, lock her up.
Well, I mean, they let her go.
Well, because of the
After
intervention.
I know.
But like, think about how insane it is.
I know.
They're exploiting the system to escape. This is what you know what, man. All right. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. This is TimcastIRL podcast. I am Tim Pool, and I'm hanging out with some peeps.
You know me. It's Adam.
You know me.
It's Adam Krigler hanging out. What up?
And there's another person here.
It's me. I'm Lydia. Hello.
Lydia's a human.
Yeah, I am.
It's true.
She bears the burdens.
Mm-hmm.
And a little Skyrim joke for y'all.
Yeah.
So thanks for hanging out. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Hit the like button if you haven't. And I don't know. There's something else you're supposed to do, right? Like, share.
I don't know.
Yeah,
share stuff.
Follow me.
Follow Adam.
Oh, yeah. Here,
Yeah.
wait. There's his at. There we go.
Boom. Oh, did you
got
see
it.
that?
First try.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm getting good at this.
Yeah.
Follow me. Hit me up on Twitter.
For those that are only listening, Adam is excited because he successfully pointed to his name on the screen.
First
Nailed
try.
it.
First try club.
right away.
First try?
Yeah. It's great.
But yeah, you should absolutely follow Adam because you can send him story ideas.
Absolutely.
Please do.
On the Twitters.
Yeah.
At Adam Krigler.
Mm-hmm.
And then we actually use those stories. So yeah, man, don't forget. Also hop into the super chat because we're going to be reading questions and comments and all that good stuff. But do your best if you're going to super chat to try and put the specific context in it. Because oftentimes people will be like, they'll say something like, man, I disagree with that. That's crazy. And we'll be like,
what?
We don't know what you're referring to. So it really helps if you want to get to the specifics of the question, make it easier for us. But we got a bunch of stories. We might actually get to a few other stories. Donald Trump giving a smackdown to the press is always fun. But we got a story. This 11-year-old kid nailed the first ever, it was a fakie 1080, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I think it was fakie.
Sick.
So there's an interesting debate here, though, because I did talk about this, my other channel, but it'll be interesting to talk with Adam about it. 11-year-old skateboarder breaks a record, landing the first ever 1080. And we've got another story about transgender athletes. So there's a lot of questions that come up around puberty and testosterone I think we can talk to. But the first story, and what we got to get to, Mr. Elon Musk. Elon Musk defies coronavirus order and asks to be arrested. Kind of. I know my title for the video, he said, arrest me, bro, is much more exaggerated than what they said. But he basically said, if anyone's going to be arrested, I just ask it's only me.
I mean, it's basically the same.
That's pretty fair.
It's the same.
There's a lot going on here, man. And it's funny because Elon Musk is getting dragged, but he's absolutely in the right on this one for so many reasons. But let's read the story to get you the context. The Verge writes, Tesla is reopening its California car factory against Alameda County's wishes. They say Musk spent parts of the weekend railing against the order, which was put in place in mid-March by Alameda County officials in order to mitigate the spread of COVID-19. The order restricted all but essential businesses from performing anything other than the most minimal operations, like processing payroll. After initially fighting the order, Tesla shut down the factory on March 23rd. Musk has argued that the statewide stay-at-home order put in place by Governor Gavin Newsom left room for Tesla's auto manufacturing plant to remain open. And Musk had Tesla file a lawsuit against the county on Saturday in protest. On Monday, Newsom said that the state has had very constructive conversations with the county officials and Tesla representatives, and that he hopes the company could open up as early as next week. Alameda County Supervisor Scott Haggerty told the New York Times this past weekend that the county and Tesla had been close to an agreement to reopen the factory on May 18th, but that was before Musk lashed out and filed the lawsuit on Saturday. Tesla started making cars over the weekend, as The Verge reported earlier on Monday. So apparently they've already broken the order, it sounds like, and told all of the employees that it placed on furlough to get ready to get back to work. Those employees have been told they can stay home if they feel uncomfortable, but have to take unpaid leave in order to do so.
Oof.
Wow. Other automakers, yeah, but it's a furlough. Can't they just file and get the claim like everybody else does through the government or the Trump bucks or something?
Yeah, I guess.
I think most people haven't even got it anyway, though.
I actually know somebody who used to work at Tesla, and I know for a fact that Elon works his employees pretty tough and hard anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's kind of brutal. Like, yeah, you can stay home if you're uncomfortable, but you're not going to get paid.
But why would they get paid if they don't come to work?
Well,
everyone's
true.
furloughed.
I mean, are they getting unemployment though? Or
That's up to them to file.
is that what, I mean, furloughed means you're
Not getting paid.
right, but you're not fired.
Right.
So
He's not firing
can you
anybody.
get unemployment if you're not fired?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Specifically, the CARES Act covers that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So let's just pull up Mr. Musk's tweet here.
Oh, yes.
He said, Tesla is restarting production today against Alameda County rules. I will be on the line with everyone else. If anyone is arrested, I ask that it only be me.
What a
So
champ.
he's going to be
Davidson.
down on the line working the factory also. Is that what he's saying? Like, I'll be on the line too? All right. Okay.
I
Interesting.
respect it.
So the first reason why Elon Musk is in the right, and the
Okay.
most obvious one, Gavin Newsom said the state was easing up and they were going to allow manufacturing plants to reopen. So Elon Musk was like, all right, great, here we go, awesome. And then Alameda County specifically intervened and was like, nope. The mayor of Fremont, where the plant is, said yes.
What?
Yup. So Alameda is seemingly interfering with arbitrary rules that it's like, why?
Yeah, why? What?
Messing with Elon.
That's got to be it.
The other point why Elon Musk is in the right, he said you don't have to come to work. It's crazy because we're seeing all of these people on like the left say things like Elon Musk is a whiny baby putting his employees at risk. It's like the
Not at
employees.
all.
Well, don't they as human beings have agency to decide whether to work or not?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you don't want to get sick, man. Just stay home.
Yeah,
Well,
how
how
he
is-
said that. You can stay home if you're
Right.
uncomfortable.
So are they like trying to insinuate he's a slave driver? He's going to snatch him up from their house and drop him in the factory and lock all the doors?
Work, slave.
Well, you were saying so you were saying you know somebody who used to work there, right?
Yeah.
Their argument against him, well, this woman, Lorena Gonzalez, who's like a really controversial Democrat in San Diego, said F Elon Musk. Like
Okay.
just snapped.
Whoa.
Yeah, and Elon Musk responded, message received. Whoa.
Okay.
But she was claiming that he's a bad boss.
Okay.
He overworks people.
Well, I have heard that firsthand.
That he overworks people?
But at the same time, well, he doesn't work for him anymore, but he still enjoyed working for Tesla. It's not like he was, I mean, it was stressful, but he liked his job. It was enjoyable for him. So it wasn't like he left angrily, you know. So I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
You can always
for
quit.
someone to say F
This is
you.
what Yeah, I mean, that's nuts. So
Yeah,
that
you can always quit. Exactly.
Here's the
I agree
funny
with that.
the funny thing about that lady is that she's responsible for something called Assembly Bill 5,
Okay.
which resulted in like thousands of lefty journalists getting fired. It was a crazy bill. It was the gig economy bill that basically said if you're a writer, you can only write like 35 pieces per year.
What?
Yeah, because the unions were like hire full-time employees or don't hire or don't contract because contracts undermine labor rights.
Oh, okay.
So she was like, you got it. And then all of these lefty writers started like, at first they were like, we did it, everybody. We won union rights. Yee. And then then December came around and they got a notification from all of their companies saying we're terminating your contracts. And they were like,
But
the funny,
but what now?
the funny thing about that was Vox.com
Uh-huh.
wrote an article saying like a major win for progressives, this bill
Okay.
that this woman passed. And then Vox ended up laying off thousands of, severing the contracts of like thousands of writers, like at January 1st. And all these people, it's like, dude, you were cheering for this. Anyway.
But it's not like people that actually worked at Vox, right? It was more like the people that they
did work
hired,
there.
not like per article, right?
Yeah, but it's like you might have a contract with Vox where it says, we want you to write 20 articles per week.
Okay.
That's your job. It's the reason you're a contractor is
But
because.
is that the same thing though?
As what?
I don't know. As someone that would be hired to write an article,
No,
like
technically. So here's the issue. The reason that they would contract you for a writing job is because you can do it anywhere at any time so long as you deliver. So basically put it this way. If I was like, yo, Adam, I need from you a little wooden boat.
okay,
I need 5 of those every week.
I'd start whittling.
Just whittle, But you whittle when you feel like it. You could whittle all in one day if you want. Just as long as every Sunday you get me those 5 little boats, I'm going to put them in my shop. Why would I have to hire you as an employee of my company? You run your own company. You're a boat maker. You know what I mean?
Well, unless I am hired as your company, because if not, like there's the other side, like you can hire an actual boat maker. You can contract someone who does really good whittling boats.
No, but
or I can work here and work for you.
But you're not working
as your part of your company.
The point is, the argument from this woman, and like we're getting a little off track, but we'll come back. Don't worry. This is gonna be fun.
But I would be in the union, and that whittler wouldn't be in the union. Isn't that kind of the difference?
And then you couldn't sell any of your wood products to anyone else.
My boats.
No.
Whittled
So the
boats
point is
that I make.
Let's say you have 10 clients.
Okay.
And you whittle 5 boats for each client every week.
Sure.
And now because of that bill, they all terminate their contracts with you. They shut your company down. Exactly.
But
because
wouldn't you be able to sell your boats wherever you want then?
you'd think you'd be able to, but no, according to this bill, they can't contract you in this way. Yeah, right. So this lady is responsible for terminating probably hundreds of thousands of jobs and destroying a bunch of companies and sole proprietorships. And she got tore up. So she has the nerve to come out against Elon Musk because he's like, I want to reopen my factory, put people back to work, even though the governor agrees, the city agrees, and this one county is like, nah,
Alameda
not
County.
Elon.
They're like, we don't like Elon, so we're just gonna keep his factory shut down.
I'm gonna throw some shade at the COVID argument people because I got this tweet here.
Hold on, let me get my umbrella.
Yeah. Some
Okay,
shade.
I'm ready.
Check it out.
Ready.
So this dude, James Todaro, MD, says update on COVID-19 at Smithfield Meat Plant in South Dakota. It has now been almost 1 month since the first employee death and 3 weeks since the second death. Out of nearly 1,000 confirmed infections, still only 2 deaths. Infection fatality rate is 0.2%.
0.2.
Comparable to the flu. A little bit worse. But the reason I bring this up is there's 2 points to be made. The first, to be fair, look, man, you could get sick.
Yeah.
You don't want to get sick. It's like the flu. Some people die. It's a nasty flu. It's 0.2%. So it's arguably like, 33 to 30% worse than the flu at this number. But this plant in South Dakota has never locked down. They're fine.
Yeah.
They're like what ranked the 30th in terms of hospitalizations for COVID. But you had all the press being like, you must lock down, you must shut down your economy. And the governor was like, no, we won't do it.
Yep.
So now looking at this data, going back to Elon Musk's point, reopening the factory, it looks like for the most part, you might get sick, but that's about it.
Hey, if you're healthy, you could probably beat it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Most people who get it, it's like the flu. Now, well, be careful because it is still serious. It is novel, so a lot more people are still likely to get it. But they only have 1,000 confirmed infections. That may actually be a lot considering how many people work at the plant.
Confirmed infections, though. So that's
Right.
not counting the people that got it and don't know.
Don't know they got it. Right.
Because there's a high chance of not having any symptoms at all, right? Isn't that also something that's going on?
Asymptomatic.
Right.
So the point I'm trying to make, everybody calm down, because I know that the Google ban people they have fingers shaking over the button, getting ready to just ban. What I'm saying is, it's serious. There was a lot of overestimates. We got to take it seriously. We don't want anyone to die. It's novel, so it's worse than the flu in that regard. More people are likely to get it. It does have a higher infection rate. Or, I'm sorry, a higher mortality rate. But I'm just saying, it's not the apocalypse, not the end of the world. Everyone can calm down. You don't have to worry. It's a 0.2 mortality rate. Take the precautions you need to take. Wear your mask. Wear your protective gear. Tesla has taken a ton of crazy precautions, and they have like a mandatory training thing for people to be more cautious when dealing with materials. They've also moved things around to streamline the process in the factory. So the point I'm trying to make is, everybody was freaking out saying the world was going to end. We were worried this was going to get a lot worse than it was. It's not the worst case scenario for a lot of places. Actually, we've seen all these studies come out. It could be bad. It's not the 3% we thought it was going to be. It's not the 4% we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So look, man, I don't see why people can't choose to go back to work if they want to. That's just it. Elon Musk is not forcing anybody. You can stay furloughed if you want. You can go back to work if you want. They're taking precautions.
Yep.
And I think people, for tribal reasons, are just trying to go after Elon. And I want to go back to that point about the Lorena Gonzalez woman.
Right.
We'll drive a little bit on this. I wanted to make sure we wrapped up the Elon thing a little bit, but I really want to talk about this lady who's attacking Elon Musk because what she's proposed is the most, it's the most, one of the most insane things I've ever heard. Basically, unions wanted to make sure that everybody was working at the company so that the union could pressure them to join the union. Because in California, for the most, my understanding is, if you get hired to a company that's union, you got to join the union.
Okay.
I hate that.
And you have to pay union dues and all that.
Yup.
Okay.
Imagine getting a law passed where you can force people to pay your organization. That's messed up. I hate it.
Yeah,
I don't want to have anything to do with your
pretty messed
organization.
up.
If you want the job, you got to do it. That may not be true. I don't know exactly if California has that law, but a lot of places do. There's a lot of lawsuits popping up where people are suing, saying I shouldn't have to join your union to work here.
Okay.
And so I think they're winning in some of these places. But
well, I mean, why would it be? I know it's forcing anyone to do anything is the problem that you have with it, right? But I always was going under the assumptions that unions were a good thing, right? They protected your rights.
maybe 100 years, maybe 70, 80 years ago.
So you don't think we even need unions anymore?
We need collective bargaining.
Okay.
Unions are messed up. Bad.
Okay.
There are some good unions for sure, but like what it's become is you get these. I'm not gonna name some of these because they're just like shakedown organizations that'll sue me if I say their names. But they go to media companies. They convince activists to unionize, not because they need improvements to their benefits or anything like that, but to force all the employees to pay those union dues every month, and then the union can claim we just added 300 new subscribers. Imagine if you could snap your fingers and 300 people were giving you $50 a month or something. It's great. Love that money.
Sounds pretty good.
And what do they really do for you?
Let me try it.
What do they really do for you?
It's not working.
So what we need is legit unions.
Yeah.
And that's the challenge. Like, how do you weed out the corruption and the breakdown of the system? So the initial concept of unions was like really, really great. You had a bunch of really awful conditions, and all the people got together and engaged in collective bargaining, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll put it this way. I'm actually extremely pro-union.
Okay.
But my concern is that a lot of the big corporate unions are corrupt, and they exploit companies and try and hurt them and things like that. So you end up with people who don't know what they're doing, giving up their rights. Let me tell you, man, I worked for a company. They forced me to join the union, and then I couldn't move at all within the company. It was like all of my opportunity and all my rights were gone. Because, and whenever I had a problem, I couldn't go to my boss. I couldn't go to the supervisors and be like, yo, I got a problem. They'd go, no, union rep. Nope, get out. I can't talk to you about this.
That sucks.
So then I'd have to go to a union rep and then issue my grievance. If I wanted a raise, go to a union rep, and then the rep would say,
What?
yeah, I don't know, man, whatever.
Seriously?
I'd be like, well, how do we do negotiations, man? They come at the end of the year. Come on, bro. I'm working. So you couldn't do anything.
I'm already getting your paycheck. I don't care.
They don't care.
That's what I hear right now.
So like the issue I take with it is that it got so big that instead of actually defending the rights of people, it just defends the rights of the people who line their pockets with gold.
Yep.
We had people who would run for executive board. They'd be making an extra $20,000 a year because the union is basically pays them.
That sounds
They
like
do nothing for you.
That sounds like the problem with most positions of power. It's always the same thing.
Yep.
Whoever gets to the power, they're like, oh, this power's pretty good. My bank account's looking pretty fantastic. I don't really care about my morals anymore. My bank account. Look at my bank account.
They never cared.
Look at my bank account, though. It's like, that's important.
Got to take care of me and my own, they would say. That's the thing. That's why, like, for me, running these companies, we were talking about, I don't know if we talked about Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks.
Yeah, we did.
And he's like union busting.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. Nah. You know what it is? It's funny because he's supposed to be a progressive. My attitude is this. I'll give you honest advice. I think the problem with unions, but if you want to come to me and tell me you're going to unionize, I'm going to be like, hey, man, you do your thing. Like, if you want to jump into a well head first, I don't care. Like, I'm not going to stop you, man. I'm all about freedom and liberty. So you do what you got to do. And I just think it's detrimental to the individuals.
Okay.
A lot of people don't get it. They don't get it. You're giving up so much to it. It really depends. It's the point, right? It's like I was mentioning. It's corrupt organizations that lock you down, take your money, and hold you back. Especially at, to be honest, like especially at a company like the Young Turks. They're not that big. They're pretty big.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to be involved in the union
What's
personally.
pretty big? Like 30, 50, employees?
No, I'm talking
100,
like thousands.
Oh, they have 1,000.
No. Young Turks probably has 100 or something,
Okay.
if that.
Yeah. All right.
So I'm saying, they're not very big.
Right.
So that's the kind of company where you can walk up to Cenk and be like, yo, here's what I need and here's what I want. The union gets involved, you can never do that again. I mean, you probably could, because it's still not that big.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, man, I've worked at companies that have dealt with this stuff, and it's like, you lose that freedom to shine. They cut off the tall grass. It locks you down. It basically straps everyone's ankles together, which can be a good thing for the people who can't swim. So think about it this way. You got 100 people all in the ocean. Mm-hmm. You got 20 of them who can't swim, 20 of them who can swim really, really well, and the rest are average. You chain everyone together, and the really great swimmers are being held down by everyone else, and the really bad swimmers are being held up by everyone else.
Okay.
I personally don't want someone chained to my leg.
That sounds horrible.
That's how I view it.
Yeah.
That's my view of it.
Okay.
But that's why I'm saying, like, if someone came to me and they were like, I think we want to do this, I'd be like, go for it.
Yep.
I don't care.
Keep me out of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I run the company. I run my company. I'm not gonna. That's the thing, right? When I worked for these companies, I was straight up like, nah, I don't want to be involved.
Yeah.
But anyway, going back to that Lorena Gonzalez woman, the most detrimental, devastating thing about what she ended up pushing with AB5. It's like you have people who do writing for a bunch of different outlets, right?
Okay.
Someone might be like, I write about food for food.food. I write about news for news.news, and I write about sports for sports.sports.
Okay.
So you've got 3 clients that you work for.
Okay.
Like basically, it's like you're a fruit vendor, and every day you have a company who says, I will buy a satchel of oranges, and another guy buys apples, and another guy buys mangoes. Because of this bill, they've basically said you can no longer deliver these products to your customers. So like, what do you do? Do you like form an LLC then, and now you're officially a company providing deliverables? They've basically just said, let's say you have 3 different websites you write for,
Okay.
and a lot of people had multiple sites they were writing for. They all got their contracts severed because of this lady. Mm-hmm. So then, what's the point? Now I have to beg one of those companies to hire me, and my company gets shut down? That's insane. That's empowering the big corporations, empowering venture capital, and empowering big, corrupt unions.
It seems to be the way everything's moving. Just Walmart's taking over everything.
Oh, yeah, dude. I mean,
Amazon.
Talking about the lockdown and what Tesla's doing, we are seeing a bunch of small shops now defy the orders and like F you, basically. Yeah. Because a local, like a local shoe store can't be open. Walmart, no problem. Walmart sells shoes.
Yeah.
Gardening supplies, closed. Walmart, open. So there was like a weird loophole where it's like, if you sell booze, you can stay open. So you like, if you're a gardening shop, make sure you get a liquor license and sell a small case of beer. That way you can't get shut down ever again. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But the bigger issue is that big box stores, major corporations were basically immune.
Yep.
So all these lockdowns did was empower massive conglomerates.
Yeah, I'm sure they made a killing, man.
Yep. Well, they're losing a lot of money, but it's like they're not sinking.
Every single time I went into any store over the past 2 months, it was like Sam's Club or Walmart. I mean, those are the few places that were open. Mad people, full carts. Every single person I saw was just a packed cart.
Well, because you can't go anywhere else anymore.
Exactly.
So it used to be like, I'll go to Walmart and pick up some paper towels, bread, milk, and eggs, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go there and get shoes, a new TV, a controller for my PlayStation. So GameStop's out.
Yep.
They're already struggling.
I mean,
But they're
I can't
big
believe
too.
GameStop was actually still around anyway.
Yeah, because we just order stuff. Go to Best Buy.
I just download my games.
But it's the small businesses.
Yeah.
The people who did specialty jobs. Mm-hmm. That's what we're seeing. It's the weirdest thing to see this like a tribal issue where it's like we want to destroy small business and we want everyone to work for someone else. That's the craziest thing.
Yeah, I don't get that.
If you run your own company, you're fine. Well, let's get over to the next bit where it gets even crazier. Talking about the lockdown orders and all that stuff. We have this tweet.
Oh, hold on. There we go.
From Bill Malugan. The LA County Sheriff says video surveillance shows inmates at a jail in Castaic sharing a water bottle, then rubbing the same mask on their faces to purposefully infect themselves with COVID-19.
Oh my goodness.
Because they thought it would force their release. 21 end up infected. Well, they got what they wanted. Now, could you imagine if they actually arrested Elon Musk?
Yeah.
They're not going to do it.
But they're out there thinking like,
some people want to.
Well,
there was one person that tweeted
I'm serious.
There was one person that tweeted like, I agree, arrest Elon Musk. It's like a weird tribal thing.
Wow.
Yeah. They're not going to, but they did arrest that salon owner in Dallas.
Yeah, and then they forced them to let her go.
Intervention from conservatives got her out. She made like $500,000 on a GoFundMe or something.
Good for her.
Yeah, great. So at the same time, What did
She was a boss. I gotta just say, she was a boss to that judge.
But think about how insane this is. Dallas released like 1,000 county jail inmates.
Insane.
Because
it was Dallas that she got arrested.
Yep, same. What? So we talked about this before.
What is going on?
The last time we talked about this, I was like, I don't think it's the same jurisdiction. Let's be fair. No, it was.
It was.
Dallas released like 1,000 jail inmates and then put her in.
That is embarrassing.
That's insanity.
Yeah, all right. That's probably a better word.
Now look what they're doing.
Oh my goodness.
They're purposefully trying to get COVID because they know they're going to get let go.
It's nuts.
Check out this story. California sheriff says inmates tried to infect themselves with coronavirus. Two groups of inmates at a Los Angeles County jail. This is a different story, right? No, this is LA. Okay, I think this is LA, right? Same story? I think so. They tried to infect themselves by sharing water in a mask. Okay. And within 2 weeks, 30 prisoners tested positive. Sheriff Alex Villanueva at a briefing showed surveillance videos from 2 dormitory units at the North County Correctional Facility in Castaic. Yeah, okay, it's the same place. The footage captured inmates in one unit sharing a container of hot water and others in a second unit sniffing a mask. It's so gross. Let me sniff that mask,
Hey,
bro.
man. Hey, man, you got mask? I got mask. COVID positive.
Oh my gosh.
I'd like to go home.
my
Look it up. Let me
God.
sniff that mask.
Yeah,
Oh
my
gosh.
goodness.
The footage captures inmates in one unit sharing a container. Oh, we read that. The sheriff said the inmates used hot water to try to raise their temperatures just before a nurse checked them. An elevated temperature is a symptom for coronavirus. Villanueva said the inmates mistakenly believed that if they were infected, they would be freed. It's dismaying and it's disheartening. None of the 30 inmates required critical care when they were sick, though some had moderate symptoms, said Bruce Chase, the department's assistant sheriff of custody operations. No prisoners within the county's jail system, the largest in the country, have died from the virus. Jails and prisons nationwide have become flashpoints. More than 25,000 inmates have been infected, and about 350 have died nationwide. From Rikers Island in New York to federal, state, and local lockups coast to coast, according to an unofficial tally kept by the COVID-19 Behind Bars data project run by UCLA Law. In California, 5 inmates in a state prison in San Bernardino have died from COVID complications and outbreaks. So we got this. They say in LA County, in mid-April, the North County Correctional Facility didn't have a single case. Days later, 9 inmates were flagged as being potentially sick. I don't know if California has actually ended up releasing anybody. So I'll wrap this one up. They say for most people, the coronavirus cases are mild or moderate. We know this. Fever, cough, yada, yada. For some, it's older. Okay, we get it. So the inmates think they're going to get released.
Yeah,
because
this is California. They're not letting you go.
Yeah, not in California.
It's
I
not
guess.
Texas or New York, right?
Well, why would
Didn't New
Texas
York
let
them?
people go?
Yeah, Rikers.
I don't know. Yeah, that doesn't make
You'd
any
think
sense.
Texas is the place where they're like, son, you got COVID, so we're giving you the chair. the last, yeah. Just line them up,
Wasn't
pull the
expecting
lever,
that. Yeah.
crank them in, crank them out.
Oh,
do
man.
they still hang
Everybody
people?
hold hands.
Oh
Do
my
they still hang
gosh.
people in Texas?
Maybe in Texas. I don't know.
I
gotta look it
don't
up
think
now.
so. What? No.
What's the what?
They don't
But they
hang
definitely have the
people.
death penalty there.
Yeah, Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
They
sure.
haven't hung people for
I
years.
thought
Like,
there was a
I'm
state
pretty-
that just
decades.
got rid of it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there was a state that still hanged people.
what? No.
I swear. Can
I
you
don't
look it
think so.
up?
I'm looking it up right now.
I was kidding about Texas. We love Texas. But Texas, you'd think, would be substantially more brutal in terms of like keeping people locked up, not
Yeah.
letting them go, and then arresting a salon owner. That's nuts.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
But it gets better. It gets better.
Well,
I
we
got
got
another
to set
story.
examples for those salon owners that
That's
think they
right.
can open
How
up.
dare they?
We gotta
owners.
set that example, man.
Or you also had in Texas. I mean, you do have some hardcore people. Those dudes showing up with the with rifles.
Yeah.
At the bar, big what is it, Big Daddy
Oh
Zane's
right,
or whatever.
right. Big Daddy Zane's, right?
And then the police send out that big Bearcat or whatever it's called.
Uh-huh.
Things are getting spicy, man. This is nuts. What are they doing? Check out this story though. Yeah. Prisoner released from facilities to limit COVID-19 spread, arrested again for crimes. Now, this is Everett, Washington.
Oh my goodness.
They say Kami Borg is a business owner in Everett, and she knew this was inevitable. It puts everybody at risk. He could have broken into our store. Instead, police say Matthew Cruson raged on a Thai restaurant across the street on Broadway, amped up on methamphetamines, using a crowbar to smash the wooden boards. I'm sure glad they released this man from
Me
jail.
too.
Let me ask you something. Listen, we do have an ethical conundrum here. What are the moral constraints of a society when it comes to locking someone up where they could potentially be infected with a deadly disease? Like, is that ethical? Is that moral? Is that constitutional? It might border on cruel and unusual punishment.
Yeah.
Telling someone straight up, I know that you mugged that old woman and you're getting a year in jail. Also, there's a viral contagion with a, moderate mortality rate according to recent estimates that could mess you up. Do we as a society have a right to put someone in that position? That's a tough question, man. I don't know. That's why I understand and lean towards like letting people out, but they got to do better vetting.
Yeah.
Like this guy, what's the first thing he does? He takes a bunch of meth and then goes and smashes windows with a crowbar
what
or
a
something.
winner.
Like, but we how many times have we read stories like this? This is like what, the fourth or fifth?
All I can think of is the birdshot, buckshot, buckshot.
Oh, Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle.
He's
That was a
on
great-
meth. Oh no.
Yeah. He gets up. He's unfazed. That was awesome. But think about what's like all this that's happening, and now it's like, okay, we're gonna arrest Elon. We're gonna release criminals. We're gonna let everybody go. I think this is a major catalyst for the Boogaloo, man.
I think so too.
The Boogaloo. It's funny. Vice wrote about the Boogaloo boys.
The Boogaloo boys.
The Boogaloo movement. It's like, calm down, Vice. You're looking for everything everywhere. I do think we're dangerously close to a civil war. I don't know. I don't know what that means, right? I could just be a little excited. I've been saying this for a while now.
A little?
But I haven't been wrong.
A little fear mongering.
No.
Nah.
No. That's
No.
so unlike you.
Fear mongering would be me lying and trying to claim
Oh,
something
okay.
so that I could drum up clicks or something.
Okay.
Me telling you my legit opinion on what's been going on over the past several years and where we're at today,
Okay.
that's not fear mongering.
Sure. All right.
Some people will say it is for sure. Criticize me, but I'm being completely legit when I'm asking these questions.
Yeah.
Because listen, a bunch of dudes showed up to a grocery store. They're wearing masks. They have body armor. They have rifles. Totally legal. Totally legal. Then you had a bunch of people show up to this bar that was defying the governor's orders, and then a Bearcat comes out, technically still totally legal.
Right.
Because-
they weren't inside the store, right?
But it's not even that. The governor doesn't have the right to decree that you can't,
Right.
do these things. It's like, now when it comes to business licenses, there's an argument there. But we're still getting dangerously close. Then you look at prisons letting people out. Judges telling them, you have to apologize to me.
That's
Apologize now or
ridiculous.
else.
And she was like, no.
But I'm not even...
I applaud that woman,
Yeah,
by the way.
seriously.
Man,
Liberty.
when I
Very
heard
much
her
so.
say that, I was like, oh, yes.
But
Go, girl.
here's the important bit is that the Supreme Court of Texas overturned it, meaning we were always on the side of the law when we said she should not submit and apologize.
Right.
And the Supreme Court overruled the lower court. So we, and everybody who said this woman was doing the right thing was correct.
Yep.
The scary thing is you can get banned from social media because, they don't care.
Yep,
It's
they
like,
don't care.
you can't say these things. But I'll tell you what right now. We won't get super political, but
good.
I'm gonna throw out Obamagate into the mix on this one.
Oh,
Okay.
man, Obamagate.
And then we'll come.
heard him say it.
We'll bring it back to the on the ground stuff and the Boogaloo stuff. Listen, man. Right now, you've got Donald Trump tweeting at Obamagate. The implication that Obama directed or was involved in false charges brought against Trump and his administration to sabotage his administration as he was coming into power.
It seems like it.
But it's beyond that. There's a lot of insinuations about, was the previous administration involved in trying to sabotage the campaign of Trump to help Hillary win? Beyond that, why did we go through years of this conspiracy theory stuff?
Yeah.
So we don't need to get too much into that because, I want to keep it to the on the ground stuff. But this is where it brings us today. You've got right now documents being released from, the Attorney General and, classified documents. And conservatives are pretty much on board with it looks like there's something dirty here from the Obama administration for sure. At the very least, Obama knew, and we don't know how he knew this stuff was going on. And it's crazy. The FBI went after Michael Flynn's kid. They had no justification for investigating him in the first place. They took one casual statement he made and claimed it was a lie during an investigation and used that to prosecute him. So all this is overturned. You have two factions right now. You have the left that believes Donald Trump is subverting the rule of law.
Okay.
And that he's a mobster getting all his buddies off the hook for crimes they committed. Then you have another faction that believes the Obama administration and the FBI were falsely laying charges to sabotage Trump's administration, and now finally Trump is on the counteroffensive, weeding out the corrupt. It doesn't matter what you think is right. The fact is they exist. So what happens when Trump gets reelected, or what happens when when stuff like this starts happening? So to bring it back to the on the ground stuff, you have in the debate about whether or not to reopen or stay closed, tribalism. The left doesn't care about the science. They don't care about the facts. They don't care about the studies. They don't care about the UN. They don't care about the starvation. They're saying shut up and shut down, period.
Yep.
That's scary.
It's true.
So
It's spreading people into two factions. It's like open up or not to open up.
I think the
gotta open up.
objective reality is that we can see real wrongdoing on the part of these FBI agents.
Yep, definitely.
Obama knew. We'll see how far that goes. I'm not going to make. I know a lot of people have done a lot of research in this. Will make more definitive claims about the Obama administration, but it stands to reason that right now the evidence shows the right is. It's like correct leans in their direction, especially when you look at what's going on with the lockdown. Is where things get crazy. First of all, governors don't have the right to decree that you can't protest.
Ridiculous.
Bill de Blasio has no right to decree you can't protest. Mm-hmm. So the left is already in the wrong on this one.
Absolutely.
UN says starvation is coming. We got to reopen. What does the left say? People want haircuts. Just not true. That's not what people are protesting for.
No.
Some people for sure, but to highlight the one person out of the hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
We're seeing surfers in California and Hawaii be like, no way, dude. Like insane lies from people that the virus is vaporized in the ocean shore and it'll get you sick if you go near it. Like that's nuts.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
But then they come out and they argue that the right is anti-science and Elon Musk is anti-science. They arbitrarily say Elon Musk can't reopen.
Wait, the right says that?
The left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the right. I was like,
Did I say the
wait,
right?
Yeah. I was like, what?
The left is arguing
Yeah.
that like you can't reopen or whatever.
Yeah, it's stupid.
So if you look at what's actually going on with the data, we have 4 or 5 studies now saying the mortality rate is very, very, very low, and there's substantially more people who have had this. We've had local doctors come out, get their videos deleted from YouTube.
Yep.
For calling this out.
Yep.
The UN says if we don't reopen, 130 million will starve. I think at the very least we can say we get it. It's serious.
Yep.
People are going to lose their lives.
Right.
More people are going to lose their lives because the economy is collapsing.
Exactly.
We've got to get things going again so people can get food and but they don't care.
Yeah, people can go out, just wear masks, wash your hands, social distance. We can do this. People aren't idiots. We can make it happen.
Well, it reminds me of that Men in Black comment, right?
What?
A person
What
is
is it?
smart.
Okay.
People are dumb, panicky, you
Yeah.
know.
Dangerous animals.
Dangerous animals, is that was the quote?
Yeah, I love that quote.
Yeah, it's a good quote. But an individual who doesn't want to get sick,
Right.
right. If you want to go to Walmart, you see someone not wearing a mask, you avoid them.
That's true.
You walk away. You wear gloves. You sanitize your hands.
Mm-hmm.
Don't touch your face. There are ways you could protect yourself. But we also know the data has shown going outside is actually better. 66% of people who have gotten sick were staying home. I think this was in New York, showing that the people who are going out consistently were less likely to get sick. So the lockdown may have failed. Something happened?
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
It was a ghost.
The lockdown may have been substantially may have hurt us more so. So we have all this data. Now it's time to reassess. What do we get?
Yep.
Tribalism saying no. So I just think about what happens come November. Vegas odds have Trump to win. The polls had Biden to win, but they're dropping. This is crazy. There was a really funny tweet I saw where a bunch of Bernie supporters were laughing when the polls came that Trump was now beating Biden in a bunch of key states.
Yeah.
So it's like, what happens when you have all of this, all of these people who arbitrarily want the lockdowns to continue, jokingly saying, fine, go and arrest Elon Musk, attacking Elon Musk even though he's completely in the right,
Yeah.
and then Trump wins again? Do these people just say like, well, gosh darn it, we lost. I guess we'll just carry on with our lives?
I don't know. It feels like they're becoming a minority. Like, I don't know anybody like that anymore. And all my friends who used to like Bernie don't really follow Bernie anymore. They're becoming more, I say conservative, but they're not conservative, but they sure don't associate with Democrats anymore, the left side.
Yeah.
And that's everybody I know.
Maybe then what we're really seeing is like the last remnants of the Democratic establishment collapsing.
See, that makes more sense to me. I don't think it's going to be a boogaloo. It's going to be people are like, oh wait, we all feel the same way. All right, good. Well, the few that thought they had a huge voice and a huge backing, they're like suddenly there's no one behind them and they're just standing by themselves. It's the internet.
You know, yes, but I think maybe one of the ways to look at it is Trump defeated the Republican establishment.
Okay.
Crushed them. They're gone. They've either fallen in line with Trump or they've retired and they're gone.
Well, they did it to themselves more.
What do you mean?
The Democrats?
No, the Republicans. Trump defeated the Republican establishment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in 2015, 2016 when he won.
Right.
He shut him out. And then you had the never Trumper Republicans go, oh, harumph, no, we'll resist. And then they joined the Democrats. But now you have that last vestige of the establishment collapsing. You've got the leftist populists mocking them and laughing as they wither. And the same thing from the right-wing populists.
Yeah.
Like the elite establishment is gone.
That's true.
So maybe, yeah, that's a good point now that I think about it. Maybe there won't be a Boogaloo.
Yep.
Because what we're really seeing is the last remnants of a vocal minority
All right.
shrinking into nothingness.
Yep. That's what I see. Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
For the record, he agreed with me.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of an
Everyone's-
interesting take.
Everyone loves calling out the other way, but see, there are some times.
We're in agreement.
Sometimes
Maybe there will be no Boogaloo.
I don't think there's going to be a Boogaloo.
Well,
I
because
hope not.
Trump
It
wants
is fun to say though.
Boogaloo.
Boogaloo.
true.
It's from an 80s movie. How did it become the word for Civil War?
It
It's
sounds
so
like
weird.
sounds like a really cool cat's name.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Boogaloo. He's
pretty
cool. He's
cool.
cool.
That is a
Right?
good name for a cat.
Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Boogaloo.
Yep.
Start calling
You're
people
welcome.
that.
Yeah, Trump wants to reopen. Barr is going to the States for the lockdowns.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people come November are going to blame Trump for this when it's the Democratic governors who are insisting we stay shut down,
Yeah.
and people are complaining.
And the Republican governors are the opposite. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
let's keep open. Let's open everything.
Such a weird world, man.
It's weird, yeah.
Like we mentioned several times, Gallup polls showing Republicans in Congress have higher favorability now for the first time in like 20 or 30 years.
That's crazy.
I try telling people, it's like they want to accuse me of being biased, and I'm like, I think you just don't see what's really going on.
Yeah.
But give it time. Give it time.
Give it time, yeah.
When I said all the things I said 2 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
What happens 2 years later? Gallup poll comes out saying Republicans have a higher favorability. Why? It's not because I'm making things up or lying to protect the right. It's that the right was correct about what they were doing.
Yeah.
And the American people responded positively to it.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I was like, see, I wasn't wrong. Donald Trump's approval rating's higher than it's ever been on average. It's gone down a bit from its highest point, but it's still higher than it's been on average.
Yep.
His favorability is up. New York Times says,
My opinion of him has certainly raised up higher.
you know what it is? I got to tell you, man, the more they lie, the more they get caught lying, the more anger I have for everything the media, the Democrats, the cronies have done. And I can feel it. When you go to that voting booth and you want to just stick it to the man by slamming down that Donald Trump lever.
Yeah.
Dude, Chuck Todd, he's MSNBC, right? Meet the Press.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
He put out a clip out of context and got called out immediately for it.
Okay.
They used to think they could get away with this. They played a clip of Bill Barr, the Attorney General, making it seem like he was gloating that nothing, like, ha ha, ha, we're the winners, so we can do whatever we want, or something. Like,
Okay.
basically, he was asked about dropping the charges against Michael Flynn, and he said, well, history is written by the winners. So,
Oh, okay.
but he said, I think history will shine favorably, showing us we followed the rule of law. They cut the last part out, so it's him laughing, going like, history is written by the winners, like making
goodness.
it seem like
Yeah.
they used to do this stuff.
What? And no one was for it. They were like, "This is BS." Like,
Yeah,
why
and they had
don't
to
you
apologize.
Shut your mouth.
Yep, that's how bad it was.
Good.
Like everyone called him out.
That's
The
fantastic.
DOJ called him out.
I love it.
Yeah, I think it was really stark because Chuck Todd went on to say, well, he didn't say anything about following the rule of law or having any kind of compassion. And then somebody showed the full clip and it was like, yeah, that's exactly what he said next.
It's
and
exactly
you
what he
freaking
said.
knew it.
Yep.
So here's what I see, man. I see these pundits on Twitter, and they put out their like, it just insults all day. It's like you'll see a comment from a Trump personality or from the president, and they'll say he's stupid, he's ridiculous, he's a criminal, he's crook, he's corrupt. I'm like, these aren't ideas.
Yeah.
It's
You're just
so
saying
annoying.
your opinion, and
Yeah.
that's news.
But the lies, man, the media lies,
Yeah.
makes me angrier and angrier. And boy, do I not want them to get away with all of the deception and the deceit and the lies. And it's really frustrating too, man, when I see my friends go on like Instagram and post stuff about how, we must remain locked down. Like the economy is like, people are so dumb. They want to save the economy. Huh, how dumb are they? They just want to make rich people, get richer. And I'm like,
It's like, no, that's happening already.
right.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
It's the small businesses that are going under now.
Exactly.
So they
And the supply chain, right?
well, how do you talk to these people, man?
I don't know. They have a set mindset, and it's like they're getting triggered in any other sense, and they just go emotional. So all the logic goes out the window. You can't talk to people like that.
So I have
There is
friends
no-
posting on Instagram and Facebook and stuff where they're like, these heartless conservatives want people to get sick and die like Elon Musk, and I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
what do I say over Facebook to this person I've known for years to let them know I sent a message to a friend of mine who's like a high profile individual
Okay.
who was saying like no to reopening the economy.
Okay.
And I was like, the UN says 130 million people will starve. Should we just let those people die?
Yeah.
No response. Just ignore it.
Yeah, because it goes against what they believe. So they're triggered and get emotional and can't. You're just an enemy to them now.
Is it possible that what's happening? You know, so I've always been like both of us. Well, all three of us we're like calm, rational, logical people.
Yeah.
And so we're driven away from these hyperbolic, emotional, like pointless reactions.
Agreed. Yeah, I definitely am.
So is the right becoming a more calm and logical place, still with its emotional reactions for sure? And is the left becoming a haven for the people who just react emotionally?
I can't speak for the right because I feel like I'm still in the center, and that's where I mean, because I agree with both sides, I disagree with both sides. So I think far left are crazy people that I don't associate with at all. But
But here's what I mean.
okay,
You are moderate, probably left. Well, actually, you took the compass test. You're
yeah,
a liberal.
I am on the left.
And so here you are
But
talking about
close to center though.
right. But that's normal. That's where like
Right.
liberals have usually been. So what I kind of think might be happening is when someone like you or me sees a conservative and a liberal on Twitter, and the liberal is yelling "re,"
Yeah.
and the conservative is saying "I humbly disagree."
Right.
Which one do
and
we
here are
drift
my
towards?
reasons.
Right.
Right, exactly.
I mean, when you put it that way, that's absolutely the person I would side with.
So then my question is, over time, will we end up seeing the right, I'm doing air quotes as to whatever the right is, be a bunch of people calmly sipping their tea and saying, well, dare I say, good sir, my question about the economy has to do, and then, Peter Jordan, well, let me tell you about what I think, and then Joe Rogan's like, that's crazy, I never thought about that. And on the left, it's, well, to be less silly.
That was a very good read, by the way.
That was
Re?
excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Quality.
I had to try and tone it down because I didn't want to scream it.
I know, it's good though.
Thank you.
I guess the point I'm trying to make is, if people who have emotional reactions and don't care to do research are manipulated into believing all this fake stuff, then the left will just be people who are all waving their arms in the air going, while the people on the right are going to include moderates, liberals, conservatives, libertarians,
Yeah.
all being the right and having a wide range of views, but having a conversation about
That's kind of what I was saying earlier, where it feels like those people on the left that are reeing are just slowly fading away because they're becoming more and more in a spotlight. For one, people that girl who screams no when Trump won,
Yeah, man.
she's now a forever meme of just.
And who wants to be that?
Who wants to be that person? Everyone's like, wow, that person's ridiculous. Look how emotional that person is. And it's like, yeah, or you could, get political and try to make a difference instead of just standing there screaming no, doing absolutely nothing.
The re thing is I'm exaggerating a bit, right? To be fair,
Right.
I'll put it this way. I have a friend with hundreds of thousands of followers who makes a post saying, we can't reopen the economy. All it will do is make the billionaires wealthier and it'll sacrifice the poor people. And so there's no logic there. There's no real understanding of how the economy works.
No, you're right.
Complete disregard for the science and the economics of it.
And they're not backing it up, I'm assuming.
No, just saying.
Just saying
Just
stating.
saying the government should just give us money and waive rent. That's what they said to me. And so when I respond with, how will these companies pay their employees if you don't pay their rent? Like the landlord isn't some guy like in a castle with a crown.
Right.
It's a dude in an office who's like, I've got a bunch of properties.
Yep.
I got to pay, here's my mortgage, here's my interest, here's my bills, here's my groundskeeper, here's my staff, here's my electrician, here's my repairman, here's my,
Yeah.
the delivery guy. How will all those people get paid if you say you shouldn't pay rent? Well, the government should pay it. Okay, where does the government get the money? They just print it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my question is like, your reaction has no basis in reality.
Exactly.
You've done no research. You've read no news stories. You have reckless disregard for those who would starve to death. Is that what the left has become?
Letting people starve to death is basically like letting the poor die. And that was their argument to keep it closed, wasn't it?
Exactly.
The
small businesses are
like,
collapsing.
Wait, what?
The small businesses are collapsing, not the corporate enterprise.
Right,
The billionaires are
exactly.
making money.
Yeah.
They're
The
simultaneously...
billionaires are fine right now.
Yeah.
They're not worried.
That Robert Reich guy or whatever his name is that his name? Robert Reich or something?
Robert Reich? I'm not
I don't know,
familiar.
he's annoying.
Sorry.
Elon Musk tweeted that he was boring and stupid or something. But
Oh, shoot.
he tweets out like billionaires added, $200 billion to their wealth during the lockdown while poor people are suffering. It's like the poor people are suffering because you've shut their businesses down.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
understand? So it's like,
And they lost all their jobs, even if they weren't their own business.
Yep.
Let 'em go
Now
back
they
to
have no
work.
jobs. Their strenuous life, the line that they were riding, now it's all crumbled away.
So how do you talk to? What do we do?
Yeah.
You know what, man? It's crazy because I've always been really good at communications. Like I did fundraising for nonprofits, literally communicating with the public to convince them, and I'm at a loss for how we deal with these people. It's like, how do you deal with someone who says, I believe in science, and then when you go, here's a study saying people are dying and starving to death and the mortality rate is low, and they go, no, and they throw it in the garbage.
They don't want that study.
Yep.
Yeah.
That challenges my belief system, so I'm not going to listen to that or believe it. And that's what they do.
Yep.
They're like, nope, I'm good. I don't have to agree with you or argue with you because you challenge what I believe.
That's scary.
So I'm just going to go the other way and ignore you forever. Block.
Yeah.
It's like,
easy.
like,
you know
what?
the crazy thing about it is when I was growing up, it was the religious people who behaved more that way.
Yeah.
Like, I'm right, I don't care, this is what's true.
Yeah.
And now it's all of a sudden you have like, I was talking to people about this, notably Ben Shapiro's philosophy, because he's very religious, he's an Orthodox Jew, but he's
Okay.
libertarian. So it's like his idea is kind of like, I'll mind my own business and practice my religion how I want to.
I like that.
But now it's like, it's the flippening. It's probably why the conservatives have a higher approval rating in Congress. Something switched. The left started, you know what I was thinking? Maybe it might be that it works this way with trends too and cultures. So you have the left of like 10 years ago. You got Jon Stewart.
Right.
Funny guy, honest guy.
Great guy.
He called out Joe Biden, the audacity of grope, uncritically showing Project Veritas, like legitimately showing Project Veritas and praising the work they did.
Yeah.
Even though Veritas, is, right-leaning or whatever people want to accuse them of.
Yeah.
Today, it's all like attacks and smears. But here's what I think happens. You have someone like Jon Stewart and you have a left that actually has thought leaders,
Right.
comedians, funny people. And so all the cool kids are involved.
God, I miss those days.
But so the left was cool.
Yeah.
Jon Stewart was leading the charge in like a comedic way to deliver the news to people.
Yeah, he was great.
It was clever too because people didn't care about the news. And he found a way to get people to care, and it was funny and it was cultural.
Yeah.
What do we get after Jon Stewart? Samantha Bee, John Oliver, Trevor Noah. That's just fake. It's them lying and making stuff up. Jon Stewart was legit. So here's what I think happens. The cool people, the skateboarders, for instance,
Okay.
were on the left because the left was being rational and honest. When the left stopped being rational and honest, started attacking the thought leaders, and the thought leaders started leaving, we lost George Carlin, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
That was a huge, hit for what the sane left was.
Yep.
Jon Stewart retires. Now the cool people are watching the people shrieking in cancel culture, and so they're more attracted to the right, which is fun and memes, leaving all of the, like a leaderless movement, essentially.
Yeah.
The left has become emotional, reactive, and leaderless. No look at Joe Rogan, for instance.
Okay.
He says he'd rather vote for he wanted to vote for Bernie.
Yep.
Then he says I'd rather vote for Trump. But they call him like alt-right and all this other weird stuff.
Of course.
So it's like if Joe Rogan, who is a lefty, pot-smoking...
You say they, but that group
re-left
feels so small now. There's just a small group of people. That's what it feels like to me. Like they're just screaming and they have a platform to scream on, which is Twitter and mainstream media even. It's like they're all over there.
But the social media companies protect them and ban everyone else.
I know.
Because
it's not going to last very long.
But it's because they were always default.
Yeah.
Like Jon Stewart was cool and valuable, HBO, all these things. And so the big companies are late to the party.
Mm-hmm.
They don't realize that the ad dollars are propping up things people don't like.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe we're crazy. Maybe we're wrong.
It's going to crumble eventually, though.
Maybe people like being in ignorant bliss. Maybe we're the minority.
I think that's the real boogaloo that's going to happen. It's just going to be, it's going to be a battle between those two forces, but they're going to be smushed. The majority, as far as what I believe, is people in the middle and on the right looking at the left like, wow, they're really crazy now.
This is why they hate YouTube. On YouTube, when they put up one of these stupid social justice commercials, obliterated.
Yeah, I'm
They
sure.
They disable the comments. They disable the like and dislike ratio.
I love that. That's hilarious.
But
then eventually just delete the video.
But think about what Reddit does. Reddit starts banning. The moderators will ban a conservative post or a moderate post. And so then what ends up happening is Reddit. So this is the way I was explaining it earlier. If you have 100, people, 50 conservative, 50 liberal, that means there's a good civil war between ideas.
Okay.
It's like I might say like I like oatmeal cookies. No, chocolate chip is better. And someone says snickerdoodle, and you have sometimes you'll see a snickerdoodle post or a chocolate chip post or an oatmeal cookie post.
Okay.
But then Reddit says we don't like oatmeal cookies because sometimes raisins are in them, so we're going to ban anyone who posts oatmeal cookies.
That's a shame. I love oatmeal
All of a
cookies.
sudden, the oatmeal cookie people start leaving.
Yeah.
Because they're like, we don't get to hear about oatmeal cookies anymore.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, chocolate chip just starts skyrocketing. And now there's no way to ever get a post upvoted that's about oatmeal cookies because they started removing posts. So Reddit becomes hyper polarized, and people get washed into that insanity.
Oatmeal gate.
So anyway, the point is, you say like they might get crushed, they might be small, but the institutions are propping them up. Like no one in their right mind, no sane, reasonable person thinks Joe Biden can be president.
But they're losing their power. Like Reddit is losing their power.
Are they? I mean, kind of.
I think it is. I think
Their
so.
ranking has been dropping a little bit.
This doesn't surprise
Yeah.
me. And
Nope.
I'm sure the same is for YouTube. Like who knows? Like BitChute's now around, Minds is out. Like I don't know if
Yeah.
there's going to be a competitor. People have asked you, and I know it's because YouTube sets up all the different things into one spot, so it's hard, and they can easily probably put someone down if they're going somewhere else. But I mean, it's only a matter of time.
This is why I think they attacked
Twitter, same thing.
I think they attacked YouTube so hard because with YouTube, people who, if you click the video and then you watch for a long time, YouTube recommends it more.
Okay.
It wasn't about an arbitrary group of moderators deleting stuff.
Yeah.
So this allowed content that people actually like to start doing really, really well. And there's been a massive spike in conservative content. At least they call it conservative. What I really think it is, it's the culture war right.
Right.
I don't think it means right wing or left wing in the political
it's
sense.
more just not left.
Right.
Would be more accurate.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, because in the rankings they consider my content conservative. When I made a video where I'm like the death penalty should be opposed by all measures, like at all costs, and a bunch of conservatives argue with me like I disagree, and I'm like, well, I oppose the death penalty.
Yeah.
It's not a conservative opinion for the most part. I say for the most part because it's a particularly libertarian position.
Yeah.
But it's like I can say my position and my politics, which are clearly liberal left leaning, as are yours.
Yeah.
But because we'll rag on the left, they say we must be right. So this kind of content is skyrocketing. These social justice racist commercials are getting attacked left and right.
Yep.
But then you know what it's almost like venture capitalists and advertising agencies are trapped 10 years ago when they thought the left was hit.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, man.
Yeah, that's it. You're right.
I have rock stars. I say rock stars, but like very famous musicians
Really?
who hit me up.
Oh.
And like we'll be like, yo, bro, I saw your video, man. And they'll say like, here's what I was thinking.
COVID.
Pro skateboarders.
I want to jam with these people.
Seriously.
I want
lock
to
down.
I want to skate with those people.
Dude,
COVID.
the craziest thing to me, I've said this before, but it bears repeating in the context of this video. When I got hit up by some of these pro skateboarders,
Yeah.
like, dude, skateboarders trespass. They break
Yeah.
the rules. They care for no laws.
Totally.
They're anarchists, like libertarian. And they were hitting me up being like, I agree 100%. Like, this is nuts. Dude, you know what it is? I think skateboarders really, not for the most part, because a lot are probably just not paying attention. But at the core, like these authoritarian leftists and the weird social justice stuff, it's fake social justice. It's authoritarian. And it's the antithesis of skateboarding.
Yep.
Skateboarding is all about you conquering by yourself. Like a skateboarder will tell you, hey man, you got to do it. You got to drop in.
Right.
No one's going to drop in for you.
Yep.
That's the antithesis of what they say.
It's true.
Like you need to, no, someone has to drop in for you because of your privilege. It's not fair or something. You're too tall. You're a man. You're a woman, whatever. So I started getting hit up by skateboarders telling me they agreed and stuff. And I'm like, some people that I've known since I was a kid and looked up to, I was like, wow, man, like these people are hippies. Like these are the leftists who are like chilling, smoking pot on the beach, arguing against the Democrats right now. That to me was like, I think these marketing companies
Yep.
still just assume the left is cool.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, man. Side note, and
They'll
then
figure it out. They'll follow the money.
we should jump to the skateboarding segment in this, But I'll make one more quick comment. There was a post on Reddit about, it was like F the alt-right or something.
Okay.
Like it's a subreddit dedicated to ragging on the alt-right, which basically doesn't exist anymore, like as a movement, like it's been wiped out by social media.
Okay.
But it was a picture of Desmond, the 11-year-old drag queen. Dance.
Okay.
Are you familiar with the Desmond story?
I don't think so.
11-year-old boy ripping off their clothes on stage for money as adult men throw money at him.
Okay, I've heard about this, but I never saw the video.
So someone
Was it really cringe?
It's horrifying.
Ugh,
it's horrifying.
Sounds terrible.
Like, so what I don't want to get too into detail, but it's a little boy pulling off his clothes on stage. He's wearing clothes underneath multiple layers.
Okay.
And then men throw dollars at him. I asked some people I know who have familiarity with the Gentleman Club Enterprises, strippers. I know some strippers, and I asked them. And they told me that was stripping. They said that what people don't realize about stripping is that a lot of strip clubs don't allow full nudity.
Yeah.
So the women wear like sports bras and sports running shorts. And when they strip, they're still fully clothed underneath.
Okay.
And so I was specifically told about that video. They're like, oh yeah, like in South Dakota, 100%, that's legit stripping. Like that would be considered stripping to any stripper in like these areas and these jurisdictions.
So is this, who's okay with this video? Like
the tribal left. So this is the point I was getting to, like where I think things might be starting to break maybe, is that somebody was attacking the alt-right, posted the picture and said something like, right-wingers keep trying to post this to attack this poor child or something. And then I looked at the comments, and the comments were all like, no, I kind of agree. That's messed up. Like, what the? Like, oh my, like, is this kid dance? What is this?
Yeah, what?
Like, people actually saw it, and they were like, what? Like, this is messed up stuff. Put it on TV, though. Like these I don't know which channels I want to call them out and get in trouble, but a bunch of channels are, like, praising this and cheering for it. Yeah, dude, it's getting nuts out there, man.
My goodness.
So yeah, I just bring it up as the last bit of like,
That's
it's
terrible.
one of the more extreme instances. But we do have an interesting story that I wanna get controversial for everybody. So I hope you all are ready. This is from Slate. Anti-LGBTQ firm tries to disqualify judge because he won't let it misgender trans kids. The story's not true.
It's not?
Technically, it's not true. So this is where things start getting really weird. You read a little bit about like the trans athlete stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like basically they're saying if you're biologically male but identify as female, you can compete against women.
Right, which I don't agree with.
Here's what happened first. At first, they said woman and man are words for gender, which is a social construct.
Okay.
So if you identify as a woman, you can be a woman because it's just a social construct.
Okay.
Male and female are biology. That's what they said first a few years ago.
Okay.
So they were like, we get it. Male means you were born with, XY, and female means XX, and then there's intersex and things in between. Over time, they've been erasing that entirely and completely arguing that there's no such thing as biological sex. And it's funny because I tell people this, and they say, that's not true. No one's saying that. Nicholas Matt, a professor from Toronto, on public access television in a debate with Jordan Peterson, said several years ago, it is not correct that there is a such thing as biological sex. Normally, I like pulling it up to prove it to people.
Yeah. No, I actually saw that.
Right.
I've seen that.
So that's where we're at.
Yeah.
So here's the real story. There's biological males that have taken no hormones,
Okay.
undergone no treatments.
Yeah.
And they're racing against biological females.
It's ridiculous.
And they're winning every time.
What a surprise.
And shattering records.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So some young women sued. Some young females sued. In the case, the attorney was on a conference call with the judge, and the judge said, my order is that you cannot refer to these athletes, the males, as male. You must call them transgender female. Think about what that means in a court argument. Your Honor, I believe these females should not be allowed to compete against these females because these females have a direct advantage based on their female anatomy.
Well, you'd have to say these transgender females against these females.
They're not transgender females, though.
But that's, I thought that's
the judge was wrong.
Oh, okay.
So a male who is transgender,
right,
to be woman.
A transgender woman means you
are a male who is transgender.
Born a woman, right?
A male who is transgender,
right,
biologically a male,
okay,
who is transgender,
okay, is now a woman,
wants to be a woman,
right,
or identifies potentially as a woman. I don't know what they identify as.
Okay.
The judge doesn't seem to understand, but more importantly, whether he understands or not, I'm sure people will argue what transgender female really means anyway.
Of course they will.
So this is where it gets really, really crazy. Now you have these articles pop up. This is nuts. Like this article is an outright lie. How do we actually deal with protecting the civil rights of individuals? So these women are suing, basically saying it's discrimination based on their biological sex. And the judge is saying you can't say these words.
I don't know. Pardon me. I mean, I follow Ariella. She was on the show, and she's a well-known lesbian who has a lot of trans friends, and I see her post things to communicate with others and ask questions to try to understand it, and so I'm following it. And there's a lot of trans people who don't agree with this. They're like, yeah,
Right.
it's not fair. I'm trans and I don't agree with this. And it's like, oh, that's interesting to know that not everyone, even the trans people, think it's fair. It just makes me think it's not even the trans people who are even fighting
It's
anymore.
media companies.
It's the Karens. It's the people who are offended
Karens.
for others. Like, oh no, that's offensive. I should fight for it. No,
Let
don't tell me that I'm not that. I don't care. I'm gonna fight for it anyway. And it's
Let
like,
me be offended on
shut
your
up.
behalf.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's what really bothers me the most about these people is like,
That's what I think all
Dude.
of this stuff is.
when I was at Occupy Wall Street, having these white progressives tell me
Yeah.
that I didn't understand racism, I'm like, bro, like, do I got to say it? I'm going to say it. My family's mixed race.
Yeah.
Like, how many times I got to... It's funny because people bring up, they're like, Tim said he's mixed race all the time. I'm like, yeah, because you don't get it, man. Like, when I'm trying to communicate effectively to a conservative, I don't have to say it at all. They don't care. They literally don't. It's
Yeah.
not an issue for them. But if I'm trying to make a video that will at least in some way speak to some of these progressives and liberals, I have to say it. Otherwise, they're like, what do you know?
So weird.
You're a white guy.
Not even that. Like, half the time they call me Hispanic.
Really?
Yeah, they just it's
Doesn't
insane.
matter.
It's insane how bigoted these people have become while
Yeah.
claiming, like, you know the perfect quote for this. What is it? Be careful when fighting monsters, lest you become one. For when
Right.
you stare into the abyss stares back.
Okay.
That perfectly explains these people. They started saying racism is bad. We're going to fight for it, and they became the overt racists.
Yeah.
And now it's like, but it's not just about race. It's about the bigotry, right? They said we're going to fight for the rights of minority groups, and they're literally taking away the right of females to have a competitive sport.
Yeah. It's like
So-
all the fight that women have fought for all these years, for everything.
Females.
Females.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. It's like, well, if a guy feels like he can do it better than you,
He sure can.
I'm going to be a woman now and win.
It's not even that. It's not even that, right? So
I'm sure it's a lot more complicated than that, but
like, yeah. So I'll be as fair as I can be. I'm sure there are some guys who are like, I'll just say I'm a woman, then I'll get to compete.
hasn't that happened already?
I mean, I don't know.
Not proven, but it sure
It's-
seems
it's,
like
it's,
it.
It's dangerous territory because then you're claiming somebody is maybe. But the
Right.
reason I'm careful on this is because we don't even need to go there.
Okay.
If somebody is born male
Okay.
and then says, I want to compete against females, it's like, I get it, but that's not fair.
Exactly. It's not
That
fair.
is not equality.
It isn't.
That is inequality. You are taking the rights away from them to have their specific division. Now, here's where it gets interesting. And this is where we get to go a little scientific. Not
Ooh.
really, it's anecdotal.
Oh, great.
So the Olympics will allow, I believe the Olympics in some capacity are going to allow males to compete in the women's divisions. So long as their testosterone levels are at a certain level, are like suppressed, right?
Okay.
Pull up this story. Lockdown spurs 11-year-old skateboarder to make history with first 1080-degree turn. Guy Curie lands holy grail of skating while in lockdown. Brazilian surpasses previous record first set by Tony Hawk. 11 years old.
Brutal.
Tony Hawk was what,
That's amazing.
30?
He
32?
was 30 when he did that? The 900?
Yeah, what's Tony Hawk's birthday?
What?
Can you look
I
up his
thought it was
birthday?
I
younger
will
than
look up
that.
his birthday.
Actually, yeah.
Sometime in the 70s.
Yeah, I think he was like 30 or 32
I have no
or something.
idea. That's
Maybe
cool.
maybe he was in his late 20s. Either way.
Yeah.
My point is obvious.
68.
He was born in 68.
68,
Yeah,
yeah.
dude, he was like 32.
Wow.
He was like 31 or 32 when
His
he landed.
birthday's tomorrow.
Oh, happy birthday, Tony.
Happy birthday, Tony.
Tony Hawk's
Dang.
awesome. I love
Tomorrow.
watching his videos on
Nice.
Instagram. He's amazing.
Yeah, he is
Yeah.
really great.
So now we're going to get controversial because I'm sure we're going to make a bunch of people angry.
Oh, yeah.
Here's my question. The first 5-4... Okay, so for those that aren't familiar with skateboarding,
Okay, there we go.
each time the board rotates so that it's parallel is 180 degrees. So a half turn, full turn 360, 1.5 is 540, 2 is 720. You get it. It's math. Tony Hawk in, I think it was 1999.
Okay.
Was it 99?
I think so, yeah.
Maybe. He landed the first 900-degree spin.
Yeah.
Meaning he went up, spun 2.5 times, and came down. And it took him forever. It was outside of the rules of the event. He'd already gone over, but everyone's like, just do it, man. And it was so powerful that he got all these crazy video game deals. It sparked the Tony Hawk franchise.
Yep.
He made tons of money. Skateboarding immediately became like a multi-billion-dollar industry. He revived the whole sport and culture with one move, the 900. And now, Sunday, 10th of May, an 11-year-old boy just spun one more time than he did
Yep.
at like the height
A
of
full
his career.
360 more. Oh no, it
No,
was
no,
just
no,
it was
an
one
additional
half.
180.
One half. All right.
So
okay.
what this kid did was he went fakie, which means you go backwards, and he added a half turn. So it's incredible.
Guy Curie skateboarding coming soon.
I mean,
Right,
this is
for sure.
Are they?
Right.
Yeah, right. A video game series. This,
Yeah.
So the first 1080 we ever saw was on the mega ramp.
Yeah, it was Misho something.
No, I think it was it Tom Shar?
Tom
Mitchie Brusco?
Mitchie.
Yeah,
one of
Michi Brusco, July 2011.
Was it?
Yeah, that's
The first 1080.
I think so.
So that was on a mega ramp.
Oh, maybe he did the 1200.
No, Tom.
What was it last year?
Was it Tom Shar did the 1260?
I'm not sure.
Oh my gosh, these numbers.
Someone
can't
did a
keep track.
crazy. I
Maybe
think
it was
I thought
Michi
it was
Brusco.
1200 or something.
Like they both
Or
did like
1220.
crazy moves. That's why I always mix them up.
Yeah.
1260.
Yeah,
And
maybe
it was a
that's what it
huge
was.
deal. But that's the mega ramp. That's a really, really
I
large
know,
ramp
that's
where you
true.
get tons of speed. This little kid on a standard half pipe. That's why it's record breaking and
Yeah.
it's breaking the new record.
It's huge.
Here's why I bring this up in this context. The first female 540 I think was like 2008 or 2009 or something.
Okay.
The first male 540 was like the 70s.
Yeah, I don't know.
The disparity in skateboarding between men and women is the biggest for any sport I've ever seen. I don't know why, don't ask me. But women definitely have been improving dramatically, and there's some really, really good female skaters.
Well, no, you explained it on we talked about this before, and you explained it perfectly. It's the reason why is because there isn't as many like women to compete against. So when a woman goes out there and they do like a kickflip to 5-0 on a rail, it's like, oh wow, that's the best trick done. So they don't have to
In
they
competition-
don't have to raise the bar too high to win.
But
so
it's,
why
it's-
would you?
But it's not just that.
Right.
Here's the question I'm bringing up now, where I'm going to get in trouble and we're going to get yelled at by YouTube.
Sure.
Oh boy.
Why is it that a prepubescent 11-year-old boy, no puberty, was
Right.
able to pull off a record-breaking historical move in skateboarding history, where the 11-year-old female is doing the same thing? It's because prenatal testosterone plays a huge role. So my question is, if we're going to allow trans athletes, transgender, people born male, to compete in the women's division, no matter what is done, no matter if they get their testosterone levels down, they will have an advantage, period. 100%.
I agree.
Like, dude, I've seen videos of 6-year-old boys, like, doing crazy things.
Yeah.
I've competed. I'm not going to shout out some of these people because some of them are pro now, so I'll leave them to their own. I'm not going to get them dragged into this. But I've competed against some people who are like much, much younger than me, who absolutely destroyed me at my prime. Like little
Yeah.
kids, just so good. I'm like, this is nuts.
Yep.
I'm an adult man. These kids are just wiping the floor with me in this contest. But we don't see the same thing from 8-year-old girls or 9-year-old girls. There have been some like pretty good moves from little kids, younger females.
Well, I mean, I have to just bring in that the whole societal impact of what a girl should be and what like girls, dolls, Barbies, like the whole thing. Like guys, a boy sees skateboarders, and there's not that many female skateboarders
Yeah,
to
maybe
look up
that's it.
to. There's Tony Hawk is huge. It's like you said it. Like in 1999, skateboarding became a $1 billion industry. So, and that's a guy sport predominantly. So growing up. There's going to be more 11-year-old skateboarders making, boy skateboarders making history, over the girls. So that does come into play,
I think yes,
Right.
but I think
your point remains though. He did it before puberty, still broke a record. That's insane.
it's history, man. This is such a big
I agree.
Like when you look at Tony Hawk's career, landing the 900, how big it was.
Yeah.
This 11-year-old kid just landed the 1080 on a standard half pipe.
Yeah.
Now he should do it in a contest.
I mean, these
That
kids
would
these
be-
kids are skating their whole lives. This kid definitely was born on a skateboard. I'm willing to put money on it.
And he's Brazilian too, so it's like Brazilians for whatever reason, Brazilians are just like the best skateboarders.
They're really good at
The best.
skateboarding. It's true.
Bob Burnquist.
Yep. He's great.
And Leticia Buffoni, basically like the best female
She's
skateboarder in the world.
amazing, yeah.
Yeah, she's better than like 99% of dudes.
Probably.
But so that's like obviously female skateboarders can be ridiculously good. Leticia is insanely good.
Yeah, she's really good.
But why, I bring this up because I don't believe it's just society.
Okay.
I think it plays a role. I think it's fair. Like, a younger girl's not going to see any like, super well-known females breaking records or anything like that. It probably has an impact.
Yeah.
But shouldn't it be at least, I don't know, if they're skating together, similar? I don't know, man. I really do feel like prenatal testosterone plays a huge role in this.
I agree with
Because
that.
I've talked to some scientists about it who have brought that up and said that's the case. That even if you reduce your testosterone levels, you will still have an advantage due to prenatal testosterone levels.
Yeah.
So
And
now that we're
natural
basically banned from YouTube forever because they're gonna claim and hate speech and whatever nonsense.
Nice.
gosh.
Yeah, I don't know how we navigate this, man.
This is just us. I mean, I have transgender friends. I'm not trying to like
Whoa.
discredit them.
Nope. Just by saying that
What?
you have friends,
Yeah.
that's a huge no-no, bro. You can't
Okay.
say that.
Friends? Oh.
Yeah, you
And
could.
they're amazing people.
Nope.
And they agree with me.
You're not allowed to
Same
say
thing.
that.
Okay.
That's like super offensive
To who?
Why?
to the to the left. Whenever you're having an argument, if you say, "Well, I have friends who are X," they immediately snip that, take that, and attack you for it.
Well, the reason why is because I've actually had conversations with them. So like I'm going off my own experiences of what they've told me. So it's like I don't you say the left and all these people, and it's like, who are they even to talk anyway?
Pitchfork mobs on Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. So
Nonsense.
bring it on. Like I don't
not
care. Like I know what I know. I know who, has told me their opinions on things, and
It's
It's
weird
silly.
that these companies are more reactive to the left's mobs than the right's mobs.
you're right.
Whatever. You know. The way I explained it before, it's simple. Here's what I said.
Because
Like,
they're the ones that'll burn your building down.
bingo, bingo.
Yep.
Seriously.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're the scary mobs.
There will never be a moment where Ben Shapiro leads a pitchfork mob of black-clad masking people, and he's like, "Listen, you can't have a debate in this building because it's offensive to me and my people, so we're gonna burn your building down." Like, never gonna happen. Never. In fact, the worst case scenario was he'd
man.
show up and be like, "I would like to formally request a debate with you on your stage," and
Yeah.
we'd be like, "Hey, that's awesome. Come on
Sure.
up."
Yeah. All right.
The left just shows up and screams "re" and throws a brick. Yeah, you're never gonna see, like, I mean, maybe there will be some, there are some conservatives, because nobody's perfect, but it's lopsided. There's
Yeah.
very few people on the right that would ever try and pull something like that off. The left just lets it happen.
They just
So here's what I'll say about the left, man.
Yep.
Regular liberal people, are they gonna stand up and defend our rights? No.
No,
They're gonna
they're
go in their
doing
lib-
their own thing.
They don't care.
Yeah.
They're not paying attention.
Yeah, they're doing their own thing. Exactly.
Conservatives are wired, man. They're on, they're active, they're posting memes, they're making memes.
Yeah,
they're,
that's true. Yeah.
Yep. The left is just so here's what happens: the crazy of the left are in control of the left, because the regular leftists just aren't paying attention.
Yeah.
That's what we get, man. So I don't know. I wanted to bring this up because 1080 awesome,
It is awesome.
and the
Super
other
awesome.
story was ridiculous.
You wanna discredit all the people that are trying to yell that he didn't actually do it, and
Oh,
he
for Pete's
reverted
sake.
out at
I've
the
heard
last
some-
bit,
I've
which
s-
is total BS, by the way.
I've heard people argue that he did the 1080,
Uh-huh.
but he did a quick. Nah, get out of here. He nailed it, dude. That
I
was
think he
legit.
was past the 90-degree point. Like
Yeah.
he might have like touched and on one wheel.
His back wheels came down when he had like 80 degrees left.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't care, dude.
But
It's
he
legit.
rolled it out. He rolled through.
He landed it perfectly, as far as I
Exactly.
can tell.
Yeah, he
nailed
landed
it.
it.
It's like he took it low. Like
know.
he was going for it, man.
Yeah.
So this kid's basically like
crazy.
20 feet in the air, and when you're on a half pipe, you want to connect with the top so you can transfer your energy back to the ground. Otherwise, you just boom into the ground.
Yep.
He took it low. He was like, "I'm not gonna land it. I'm not gonna put my feet down until I stick it." I guess the advantage of being 11 is he weighs like 50 pounds.
That's
That's
true.
true, that does
So
count.
it won't hurt if he whiffs it.
Yeah,
which
you
he
just
probably
like,
did many
lose your
times.
board and you just slowly float to the ground.
That's
Just
how it
slide
works,
on your
yeah.
knees.
Yeah, when you're an adult, like Tony Hawk is like 6'3", probably weighs like 200 pounds.
He's a big dude, yeah.
He's lanky, so I say 200 ever.
Yeah.
But so when he slams,
But they still, dude, he shreds, man. Him,
Yeah,
him,
dude.
And, him and Andy Mack, they're constantly
I love
posting videos.
I love watching his Instagram. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I just follow skateboarding Instagram. That's all I follow. It's great.
Nice.
All right, man. We went a little long on the segments, but we're gonna jump over to the super chats.
Chat.
What up, everybody?
Super chats. Now, this is the point of the video where we start reading what you have to say. So the first thing you have to do is hit the like button,
Hit the button.
because apparently YouTube cares.
Hit the
I
like.
guess. Yeah.
I already liked it.
And you can follow me at Timcast. You can follow Adam at Adam Krigler,
Yeah.
right down there. Send Adam story ideas. You'll like post a tweet or something, right? And like tell people to
I'll do
follow.
that right now. I'm gonna do it at this very moment. I'm gonna be like, we're on live. Let me send
Send me
we
story.
are
Yeah, so
live.
you can send Adam
we
story
are
ideas.
live.
We use the stories. And yeah, man, Jump in the super chat if you'd like. We're going to start reading it. You know, maybe what we can start doing to make sure we can read the super chats is just do all of like the general talking for the first hour or so, and then just read super chats until we're done.
We can do that.
Because then we
It's
can
pretty
try
chill.
and get through more.
Sure.
Yeah, I love getting through the super chats. I
always fun.
I read them all on Adamcast.
Yeah.
We have
Wow.
higher standards for super chats.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
oh, someone said they disliked the video. You are free.
Actually, that is totally fine.
That works too.
I will accept a dislike.
It absolutely does
That's
hurt the
engagement.
channel 100%. This is a myth.
Aw.
Is it?
For a long time, there's been a myth that dislikes are just as good as likes. Not true at all.
Oh, really?
I've actually talked to Google about this, and they said they gave me a wink, wink, nudge, nudge,
Okay.
and guided me through basically telling me that when you dislike a video, you destroy it.
Oh, wow.
no.
Yeah, 100%.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
So basically,
What does that mean, though?
they can't give away their
Tell you
algorithmic
that.
secrets.
Oh, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
So they never tell anyone what works and what doesn't.
Okay.
And so I was talking to someone and I said the common idea for most people is that likes and dislikes just mean engaged with. So YouTube
Right.
is equally as likely to recommend it if it's got likes or dislikes.
Okay.
And they went, don't get dislikes.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
And I
what they
was
said
like,
to you?
yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
jeez.
And I was like, really? Because is that bad for the video? And they were like,
Say that.
if you want recommendations, likes really help. And I'm like,
man.
And so
Gotcha.
I've actually looked at data and tracked this. The more dislikes,
Mm-hmm.
you can actually see the viewership drop in line with the amount of dislikes you start receiving.
Wow.
So absolutely.
So make sure you like
Please like.
the video and subscribe. Hit the
I
bell,
mean, no, look,
bell button.
if you really dislike it, by all means, do it. You're free to do whatever you want. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. I'm just saying, like, people seem to think
115.
when you see a video you don't like on YouTube and you give it a thumbs down, it really, really hurts the video. That's one of the reasons they disable it.
Wow. Yeah.
But you can still like or dislike it even if they hide it. Yeah. And so by hiding it,
Wow.
they're trying to discourage people from doing it because when you see the dislike ratio, people pile on.
You should stop talking about it. The more you talk about the likes or the dislikes are just going up.
Get some ornery people.
Whatever.
Let me
And
just
see.
people
kidding.
can ruin the channel.
Actually, wait, they're going down now.
People are free to
And
do what they
the
want to do, man.
like
You know
buttons
they
are going up.
Now they know. Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody knows now.
All right, let's read the comments.
All right.
Not a banned account says lost and got rehired at my job same day. COVID.
Oh,
Whoa,
welcome back.
weird.
Wow.
Congrats.
Good.
Just Us says first. Well, you were second actually, unfortunately.
man.
But it goes on to say eat plants.
Oh, okay.
Dude, we made a vegan pizza the other day. It was really good.
I didn't try it.
It's not really hard to make. We laid chow cheese on the crust and then put sauce on top.
You hear that? He's making vegan stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not even around.
Less dairy.
Not even
more
not,
vegan
not he's not
stuff.
even around. Not even around. Well,
I'm so
it's
proud.
But I ate a whole mess
I'm
of
getting
chicken.
choked up.
I ate a whole mess of chicken. And so after eating this big
That's right.
old
Bring
thing
it.
of-
Bring it around. Bring it around.
Bring it back around. It was like Greek yogurt chicken. It was delicious. Some egg salad. And then I was like, I want to make a pizza. But we don't have any like pizza cheese. We have American cheese and we have the vegan stuff. And I got to be honest, like American cheese for pizza is like whack.
Ooh, no,
Like,
not
there's-
good.
You can't do it. So we did the vegan stuff. That was actually really good. Came out really well. Cordo says, here's a story for you, Tim. Apparently, smoking nicotine possibly prevents COVID-19.
Isn't that weird?
Look up China's and France's low infected numbers among active smokers. I heard that.
So weird.
Interesting.
because it like blocks something in the lungs or something like that. I don't know. I'm not going to recommend
Well,
smoking.
don't the
though,
lungs
so-
like build up this huge like defense system
Yeah, I
if you're a
think that might be
smoker?
part
I was a
of it.
smoker for a long time, and when I
Yeah.
quit, I hacked up stuff for like a year straight.
Yeesh.
Seriously, and it's probably what it was.
Yeah. Secret medicinal effects, huh?
Yeah,
Drunk Shovel says Elon Musk is genuinely the hero we need. Dude, I think Elon Musk is awesome.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's not perfect.
No,
He's just an eccentric dude who like
he's a human.
yeah.
It's
And he you know,
yeah, he does his thing.
I tweeted at him once. He responded.
Very
It was a-
cool.
It was a
Amazing.
good day.
Yeah.
I asked Elon Musk why he hadn't made an Iron Man suit yet, and he said building Starship, and I was like, that is an acceptable response. LaSalle says, welcome back, guys. Love the stuff today, Tim. Appreciate it. Kenrick says, did you all see the videos of the 1080 by a kid? You know it.
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
Yep.
Dude, I watched it. I'm all excited. I want to skate today. I'm ready to just throw down any trick on the ramp and just fall and get hurt because we have a 3-foot mini. This kid's throwing out a 1080, dude. The least I can do is like a kickflip 5.0 or something. You know what I mean?
You gotta land it, dude.
Yeah, I know. I used to be super good at ramps, but I'm too old now, man.
Darn rain.
Aren't I older than you?
Yes.
Okay.
But I still
pointing
skate.
something out.
Well, it's because like over time I started skating just street.
No, you're definitely better on flat than I am.
So I can
Style
do
change.
basically every single flip trick possible and then some. But on mini ramp, I just lost my sea legs. But you know what? I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna go nuts, and then you'll see me as filming off a broken arm or something. Nah, I'll be fine.
Hopefully, I'll be filming him when he breaks the arm.
Yeah, we'll film something.
Just
Well,
kidding. You're not gonna break anything.
If we were filming, I'd go nuts.
This is wood,
I'm not
right?
even kidding.
I'm knocking
like,
on it.
Turn the camera on, and I'll go for a switch blunt, heel out, like first try.
Okay.
I'm not even kidding.
All right.
I'll just try and stick it and I'll hit the floor.
Okay.
If the camera's because you get the slam on cam.
Oh, trust me, I know.
You know. So for those that aren't familiar, when you're filming skateboarding, if you slam and you get it on film, it's pretty good. It's like, check this. You show your friends like, bro, look at this slam. Oh, my arm's all bloody. And then if you land it, well, then you landed it, and then you show off for it. But check out how I landed it.
You
You
can
know?
get on Hall of Meat.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Justin O'Toole says, so Anne Sekulis is now an internationally wanted fugitive by Interpol. Should the U.S. allow her to be extradited for killing one of our citizens? Oh, that's the lady who ran over that dude.
The wife of the diplomat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about this.
Yeah, for the most part, I don't
I've been
either, but
following it. Yeah.
I don't know enough. I don't know enough
That
about
important.
it. David says, question for Nurse Lids. What would you prescribe for arthritis from Karen finger wagging syndrome or yuppie liberal hand wringing guilt?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
You don't know, huh?
In your
Aspirin?
professional opinion.
Tylenol.
Tylenol.
There you go.
Too easy.
Yeah.
Charles says, Elon Musk be like, come at me, bro. For sure, dude. Totally.
Mm-hmm.
STFU says, nicotine is a known poison and anti-parasitic. Really? It's anti-parasitic?
Interesting.
Yaren says, y'all got any good book recommendations?
I do.
I mean, if you're
Bring them
into the books that I read, I don't know, Dragonlance, old school yet still really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it? No other books?
I mean,
New book?
The
Yeah,
Wheel
yeah,
of Time
many
is one of the
books.
best
Yeah,
series
Wheel
I've
of
ever
Time is
read.
super good.
Sword of Truth was amazing. Also a really long series, but really good. I like those kind of movies.
Oh,
so.
you know what? There's this really great series. What's it called? It's about this like kid, Harry Potter. Boom.
Oh,
Never read it.
what?
Harry Potter.
I've never read it.
Those were fun books to read when you're like a little kid. but-
I'm waiting to have kids, all right? And then I'll read them.
I think that's
you'll
very
read 'em?
sweet.
I'm
I
going to
like
read it with
that.
them.
All right. IB Rippenham says, Tim, I need your help. AOC is trying to ban bathroom talk. Please do a segment on my dilemma and let the left know that fart speech is free speech. All right.
Here,
we
here.
We just got it.
I'll
Now-
rip one for you, sir.
Yeah.
That's right.
Andrew says, R. Grenell is looking to declassify any Obama official involved in Flynn unmasking, according to ABC. Yes, I saw that. Ooh, it's getting spicy.
I love
Mm.
it.
Look, as we get closer to November, we're going to see a ton of stuff declassified, in my opinion. But we'll see, man. Because I do not... Look, we live in a boring world. Could you imagine if, like, a former Obama, a high-ranking official actually got arrested and it was, like, a big scandal? Yeah, right. They're going to cut a sweetheart deal.
I could see it.
They're going to cut a deal. They're going to be like, we'll give you $1 million and you can go live in your mansion, and then we're all going to walk away from it. That's what they do at the top. Nobody faces justice. Logan says, don't know how much y'all know about history, but May 8th was the 75th anniversary of Victory in Europe Day, the day
Oh.
Germany surrendered. That's right, it's Victory Day.
VE
Correct.
Day, right?
Yeah. Paul says Musk should make medical grade PAPRs for his Tesla production workers and shame California. Blinky Bill says proposed bill HR 6666. Did you hear about this?
No.
What are they thinking?
What the heck?
The bill to provide funding for like COVID
Tracing.
is 6666.
Well, that's 4 6s, though.
It's one
even
worse.
worse.
It's 33% worse than regular 666. But come on, why would they do that?
This is why people think it's the end of the world.
You know what, man?
Oh,
They're like
that's silly.
contact tracing.
I
Is
mean,
gonna,
what if it is literally just the
It is.
6,666th
It's
one?
just
standard.
optics, man.
Just skip
Oh my
it.
goodness.
Just skip it or do a bill where you're
Skip
like,
it.
propose an ice cream party. Whatever you do, don't name the bill where you're going to contact trace people 6666.
Whatever. I don't even care. That's silly.
It is really silly, but I thought
don't
it was so weird.
The Dashing Rogue says, people forget that Tesla makes overtime mandatory for its workers. When Tesla opens in Texas, watch for complaints about the hours and work conditions. Well, Elon Musk got to fix that because those are legitimate complaints. I will call him out.
That's true. That's some of the stuff I was talking about. My
Wow.
buddy that worked at Tesla.
Well, people
he
can
would work
quit.
there
Look, man,
a ridiculous amount of hours.
I worked for American Eagle Airlines.
Mhm.
They also had mandatory overtime. You could not leave. If they could just tell you, nope, you're staying.
Wow.
Otherwise, you're
But
fired.
you'd get overtime pay, though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Legally, they have to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's called, they call it mandatory.
Okay.
And so you'd be working a night shift. It'd be Friday night. You're like, oh, I'm all excited because, I get out at like 10 and then I'm going to go to my friend's place, get there by like 11. And then they go, no, you're doing mandatory because a flight got delayed. So it was kind of crazy because one flight could get delayed.
Yeah.
And it would be like it's 2 hours late. So you got to sit in that room and watch, reruns of Friends for the next 2 hours. And you can't leave. Yep.
Sucks.
People would bring an Xbox, though, and they'd play video games, so
Not so bad.
not so bad. Adrian says, do you think Obamagate articles are strategically released to prevent certain Democratic officials from replacing Biden? Love the show. I don't know about that.
Interesting.
I mean, it might actually encourage replacement if they implicate Biden in knowing these things, too. So
That's true.
I don't know. I think they're coming out over time because there's two factors. If Trump doesn't get reelected, then these people get away with everything. And so the safest bet is to release as much as they can before the election, but also timing it strategically because it will help Trump get reelected.
Yeah, I don't think the Democrats like any of this.
They played the game, man.
Yep.
But we'll see if anyone actually gets in trouble. I doubt it.
Yeah.
Kyle, well, I think it'll be low-ranking officials. I don't think it's going to be anyone high up.
Makes sense.
Kyle Miller says, Tim's beanie is a SCP. Hello, I'm from the government, and I am here to help. All right. He says, so much respect to Elon Musk. Lots of love to you guys. Thanks for being you. Appreciate it. Wolf Spain says, when will black communities learn these Democratic strongholds and media aren't their friends? I'm tired of seeing my community destroyed by politicians who don't care about them. It's frustrating. Zuby brought this up because Zuby is British.
Yeah.
And he said he genuinely didn't understand.
And Nigerian.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
He said he didn't understand why the black communities in the U.S. vote for Democrats when the Democrats keep giving them bad policies that hurt their community.
Right.
Hey, man, don't look at me because I don't know.
True.
I'm not a part of that community, so I can only give you an external opinion.
He does point out a lot of things. People love ripping him apart for it, too, but he's so
Didn't
right.
he write a song called "Okay, Dude"? He's released
He
it.
wrote a song about it, too?
He did,
Called Okay,
yeah,
Dude.
to go with his
Yeah.
t-shirts and his suspension.
We're so getting banned this episode.
That
for all this
dude's
stuff.
funny, though, man.
He's red. He's a
yeah.
cool dude.
He's got
Yeah.
some really great points on life.
Smart.
But it's interesting because he's, coming from an outside perspective, looking at how Americans,
Yep.
Vote in the black community.
Yep.
And, I mean, he's right.
He's right,
Now
I know.
you've got Candace Owens,
Mm-hmm.
and she's much more gloves off when it comes to attacking the Democrats.
Okay.
So she just it's aggressive, to say the least.
I don't know much about her
Zuby's inquisitive.
side of stuff.
He'll be like, I'm genuinely curious. Could someone help me understand why?
Yeah, that's what I like about
Candace
him.
Yeah.
Owens
I
is
love that.
like, these people have destroyed our community and they have no respect, and I will see them. She's much more aggressive on it. But I defer to them, man. I mean, you can't ignore their opinions,
Right.
Because what am I supposed to say? Like, this one group of people is right. This other, no, I don't know. I'll take their word for it. Kyle Harmon says, F tyrants, you know it. Miguel, thanks for becoming a member.
Thank you.
Paul N says Black Panthers are carrying rifles at Ahmed Arbery events, and the media, except Daily Mail, is not reporting. But I mean, who cares? This is the crazy thing to me.
Okay.
Like, I went to an event in Texas, and there were a bunch of white dudes with body armor and like rifles, and they're holding them and they're standing around. And then a black dude walks up with a shirt that said "Black Guns Matter," and he walked up and he shook all their hands, and they were hanging out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's no problems here, man. Like, the 2A people aren't freaking out that the Black Panthers showed up. The Black Panthers showed up in Virginia to defend the Second Amendment,
Yeah.
and they were like, thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Like, the media is lying about who these people are. They want you to
media,
think it's a
man.
bunch of racists when it's not. It's liberty. So it's like, when the Black Panthers show up to march with weapons, the people I know who are about, like, Second Amendment are like, cool.
Yeah,
Like,
right on.
Glad people are doing it.
Yep. I agree.
Talbot says truckers were affected by the gig bill too. They were fixing the pipelines as the shutdown happened. Surprised it went as well as it did. Wow. Spencer, thanks for the super chat. A raffle says, hey Tim and Cast, thanks for all you do. Check out recent vids. The newest two are my recent vids. Yeah, well, I'll take a look. Excuse me. Big LC says, how do you think things would be playing out if the DNC rigged the primary for Buttigieg instead of Biden?
Huh.
If they did, I would be sitting here arguing about how I think Buttigieg is slightly, he's not strong enough to beat Trump, but Buttigieg is a legitimate candidate. Like,
more than Biden was.
yeah, what is Biden? You know what it is? Biden is like the last vestige of the Obama administration. They need him in for whatever they're like to maintain their power. Like Hillary was Obama.
That's funny. You just made me realize that what we think of Biden is like the remnants of the left that still thinks they have power. The
Right.
media still thinks the left is cool.
Yep.
Biden, the Obama era, it's like, no, it's over.
It's an old man who can't think
old
straight.
man who can't think straight. Yep,
And meanwhile, we're over
exactly.
here laughing at memes.
Yep.
And we're playing video games and laughing at memes, man.
Yep.
They don't get it. They lost this war.
Mm-hmm.
Nodar says, heard you say you were thinking about getting a flow hive. Be careful. Some plants bees use produce honey that is almost solid and won't flow, thus making it almost impossible to remove without damage.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Well, we can't actually get it where we live anyway. We're not zoned for any of that stuff. We can't even have
man.
chickens.
It's nonsense.
Now that's BS.
Really can't have a flow hive though.
Total
No.
nonsense.
I wonder.
Definitely not.
I wonder if that whatever the pollen they get, if that's like all across the country, or if it's in a certain area that pollen is. Interesting though.
We can't even have chickens, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Breaks my heart.
what's up? What, you get a little chicken, you put them in your yard, man, and it poops out eggs, and you eat them up. Can't do it.
Because people are dirty.
I don't know. I guess because the chickens can jump over fences and like get away or something.
Oh really?
I don't know what the reason is.
Yeah.
Why chicken? Like the roosters, I get.
Yeah.
You know, people waking up and like, hey, get out of here. Or goats and stuff, I get. But chickens? Now the bees too. It's like, I think the bees might be like a local safeties like concerns or something.
Well, bees. I mean, we really need to save the bees. People are out
Yeah.
killing bees now because
You
they're
saw
so
that
afraid
story?
of murder
No, like,
hornets or something.
Somebody went and burned a bunch of hives down.
It's like, what? Bees are essential for like 1 out of 3 bites of food.
People don't get
Like,
that bees
what?
are chill.
Why are you killing bees? Yeah, exactly.
They're super chill. Bees are not wasps.
Yeah,
Like if you get too close to a bee, they don't do anything.
they'll fly away.
Yeah.
Or land on you and be like,
It's
what,
only-
what are you all about?
And yeah, bees are chill.
Yeah,
It's wasps and yellow jackets, and people
Yeah.
confuse them. And hornets.
yeah.
Not bees. Never
Drunk
bees.
Shovel says Elon's got that African's tenacity that it takes to tame the bush. America needs that grit again. Thomas says many from the conservative tribe are against the use of masks. Say anything to excuse themselves for not using them. I now call them bug chasers. Oof. Joseph Taylor says after telling friends I bought my limit in meat for my freezer, my friends called me an alt-right quasi-theocratic libertarian. What does that mean?
What?
I don't know. No idea.
Oh man.
Spencer says Harley Rhoda, a Dem who was put into office thanks to a ballot harvesting in Orange County, California. It was private beach. Was seen at the beach after tweeting to all people in OC not to go to the beach. Surprise, surprise, man. Rules for thee, but not for me.
Yep.
Kyle Miller says, Tim, when are you going to start selling a Tim Pool body pillow? Well, we've got to do beanies. I was thinking about doing skateboards.
Pretty far down the list. Though.
It'd be cool to have our own skateboards because then I never have to worry about buying them if I just get used to the same boards. Got to find a good company that makes boards though, because I really like Deluxe, Real and Anti-Hero.
I could picture this body pillow though. Just like the top half is like a big beanie, and then like some, your face.
Oh, the pillow itself could be the top of could be like,
Yeah.
like,
beanie material.
yeah. And
And then we'll
rest-
have to replicate that shirt. And no legs though. You don't have any
No,
legs.
it's got to
You
be
don't have legs.
it's going to be an anime version of me.
Right. Oh, okay. Not as
Yeah.
fun.
Well, it'll be funny. And then one for you as well.
Sure.
But we'll do skateboards too. David says, I saw an article about a bill that Dems were pushing not too long ago to abolish right-to-work states. Probably. That means you have to join the unions, I'm pretty sure. Wolfsbane says, sorry, Tim, I forgot to mention that my first super chat is about the mob mentality and manipulation around Ahmaud Arbery. It's like they don't realize it will just hurt them in the end. This is what I don't get about like the people I know who are posting about Ahmaud Arbery. I just want to ask them, like, are you tired of being wrong? You were wrong about Covington. You were wrong about Justice Smollett. There were a ton of other instances where you were wrong. Like hands up, don't shoot during like Michael Brown stuff.
Okay.
Federal review. Apparently, that's what happened, right? They reviewed the evidence and said he didn't have his hands up.
Yep. No, they didn't. I think
Yeah,
based on the
and that came out a few months ago. Like
Really?
a few months after the story or whatever. So all these narratives, now they're like, he was just jogging. It's like, bro, dude wasn't jogging in the middle of the night 3 times.
Yeah.
Like,
in
he-
construction sites. I used to work construction. No one does that.
Yeah.
They're in there stealing copper or tools, trying to find anything.
So why are all these conservatives coming out and being like, I always go to construction sites?
That doesn't make any sense.
I know. I'm like, what?
Does that make it okay then?
No, they lock construction sites down.
The
You
Lemmings
can't get in
defense.
there. If you can get in there, that means you found a way in there and you shouldn't
Well,
be in there.
The garage door was open.
Okay.
And
So why were you in there?
It's funny, the
What's
defense.
the reason?
Not cool.
Just checking out the construction, man. It's fun to look at a new build or something. That's what people are saying.
Sure. That's why
They're
they
like,
leave little windows. You
I
can
took
peek
my
in.
family.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, some people tweeted like, I took my family to a new build just the other day. I'm like, what? Dude, where I grew up, you
No.
get smacked in the teeth. Somebody sees you walking around on their property.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That's Chicago, man, I guess.
Yeah,
that's
maybe.
weird to me, dude.
Man.
Matthew says, that's why I'm worried unionization in the game industry, professional game developers. Totally. Trade says, Louisiana is a right-to-work state. If a company has a union, you don't have to join, and you get the same benefits as the union member. I personally like that more.
Why would you want to join the union? You just have to pay more money.
Yeah, don't ask me. I have no idea. because when they go on strike, you lose your job. I don't know.
I don't get it.
If you're in a union and they say, "Hey, we're going on strike," guess what?
You can't work.
Yes. Like, I got needs, man. I got to feed my family.
Yeah.
Nope. You're going on strike. I'd be like, nah. Then what? Bomb Chew says, my sister lost her job because Governor Pritzker made it illegal to run any type of non-union teaching facility. This forced her daycare to join a union, which wanted over 4 years of back dues, amounting to over, what is that, $50,000? $500,000.
4 years of back due?
Wow.
How is that legal? What?
What?
That doesn't even make sense.
Not even. Bone says, our rights are inalienable, not government given. The Constitution isn't just for sunny days. President Trump has lost my confidence and perhaps a vote. But why, though? He's not the one taking it away. He's the one advocating for the rules to be restored. Bill Barr is the one who's arguing the Constitution isn't suspended. Connor says, lockdowns, drones, armed protesters, insane media, even more polarization. Where do we go from here? Boogaloo, baby. Where else do we go? I don't know.
I don't know what else to do.
You know, I was thinking one of the results we might not expect is actually complete demoralization. So what happens is that as things get crazier and crazier, people just stop caring completely. So like a boogaloo requires people to fight and to have that energy and be like, no, and fall to their knees and yell, right?
Right.
But what happens if people feel defeated and then just go, I'm over this. You guys want to go get pizza?
I don't think that's going to be a uniform feeling, though.
Giving up?
Yeah.
If everybody just gave up, then everything goes back to normal. But you're
What's
right.
normal?
No one's
Kinda
going
normal,
to... These anti-Trump people are foaming at the mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's nuts,
they
man.
really are.
What is wrong with these people, dude? Rob, thanks for becoming a member.
Thank you.
Charles says, Tim, you don't want someone chained to your leg. Don't work as an oarsman on a Roman galley.
Oh.
I will keep that in mind.
Yep. Good,
Yeah.
good news or good advice.
Very
Good
wise,
advice.
yes.
Yeah.
Eric
Won't do it.
Eric says, people seem to think lockdown are a cure. If we get the number low enough, it will disappear. Lockdowns are a precaution, and a closed economy may kill more over a longer period of time than the virus. And you know, people don't realize the economic damage comes slowly. So everything we're seeing now, it's a delayed response. Even if we reopened right now, the next few months, it's already coming, bro. Mm-hmm. Seth Baldwin says, apparently there were 2.9 million background checks for Freedom Launchers in April. Freedom Launchers?
Freedom Launchers. I like
Zedge
to
call
launch
them.
Is that what they're called? Huh?
Enough to arm half the population of Denmark. Very nice.
Ooh.
Sneaky Soviet says, I was reminded of the existence of Tim Allen's Home Improvement this weekend and the show within the show of Tool Time. If you ever decide to change the name of your podcast, think Pool Time would be fairly fitting. But I think that would be more of like a silly, fun hangout thing with some skateboarding. Pool Time.
We can do that.
Bone says, these tyrannical governors went full fascist with President Trump turning a blind eye. The solution was simple. No shoes, no shirt, no mask, no service. But Trump doesn't have that power. 10th Amendment. The states are going to do it, and Trump can't stop them. Water Dancer says, Tim the Rogue, Adam the Bard, Lydia the Cleric. I do play Rogue, 100%. I played in World of Warcraft. The brief D&D we did, I played Rogue. What do you play in D&D?
Probably more of like a ranger kind of type. Yeah.
Yeah, I go for Rogue.
Riverwind.
Sneaky. Jeremy says, I'm on a union e-board, and I don't get a damn cent. You don't see old open shop guys eats them up. I get the chained to you idea, but baddies reps will precede them, and they run themselves off. Let's see. Alarga Soda says, I hate you, Tim. Love Richard. But thank you for the $10. Lars and Rune, thanks for the super chat. John says, prisoners. If they tried their best to get COVID, I wonder what percentage caught the CV by trying. Would be interesting data set. It's actually a good question. We can look at how many actually tried and how many actually got it.
Yeah.
And then see like deliberate infection rate.
But in that article, it was they tried to infected each other. No one died.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
No one got released.
No one got released.
So they just
got sick.
they were like, man, we have the flu now.
Just
We're
kinda
sick,
got
basically.
themselves
Just
sick.
sick for a while.
You know what, man? That's what you get. King Canuck says, you aren't real skate punk unless you can play the Goldfinger discography. And the only real punk is my specific punk. Look how anti-conformist I am.
Ooh, yeah. That's hipster.
I know the whole Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 soundtrack, baby. Mike says, people who bite the hand that feeds them usually lick the boot that kicks them. Eric Hoffer. Check out the book, The True Believer. Username says, Trump on Twitter. Despite all the negative press, Kafifi media, Trump can't spell. Trump signs Kafifi Act, Twitter. No point censoring the president now. Sad-faced. Trump is a genius. Cordy says, as far as I know, Kofifi. As far as I know, Texas does have a death penalty, but not by hanging.
New Hampshire.
They do. New Hampshire.
As a secondary form of death penalty.
New Hampshire hangs.
But when was the
people.
last time they actually did
1939.
it? 1939.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, now I know all about this. Thanks, guys.
Gordy says, I live in El Paso and have a friend that worked as a prison guard a while back. Maximum Casey says, I wanted to ask this question to all three of you. What do you think about the difference between authoritarianism and totalitarianism, and how do you think those two apply in current events? Well, personally, I think those are not on the same spectrum. So totalitarianism is authoritarianism, but totalitarianism is like a more specific form of government where the government has total control over literally everything. It is a form of authoritarianism. It is peak, absolute authoritarianism. But it doesn't say anything to the economic system. So you can have a far right authoritarian system that, basically beats you down, forces people to do things, has strict laws, but you're allowed to trade within certain confines. And then you can have far left communism where you get fed what you get fed and there's a command economy controlling everything. I don't know if you guys have thoughts on that.
I'll leave it to you.
Zeinmart says Utah used a firing squad a few years ago. What?
Yeah, some states did have
Firing squad?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Brutal.
Yeah, it's pretty metal.
I don't know, man. Dude, I gotta be honest.
So metal. My God.
I think lethal injection might be worse in my opinion.
Why? You just go to sleep.
No, it's extremely painful.
Really?
Yeah, it's extremely painful.
Who's here to tell us this?
They paralyze. We know the chemicals cause excruciating pain, but they paralyze you beforehand for the people executing you, so you don't scream and shriek.
Yikes.
So they issue a paralytic.
I have
and
no
then
idea.
It's an excruciatingly painful chemical death. But it's not just that. I got to be honest. I completely oppose the death penalty in all its forms.
Okay.
I think just walk me to the beach. I'll go in the ocean and start swimming.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just swim that way.
I will take my chances swimming in the ocean than you locking me in a room and killing me. Right?
It depends. What have you
I
done?
guess.
I mean, some people probably
you
just be
could
like, I'll just end it now. Nah, man. What if you just swim out and then you'll probably die. But at least
you're gonna die. By drowning, probably. That doesn't sound
Exposure.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But it's like in the 0.001% chance you have of somehow surviving in some way.
You can
versus
befriend like a sea turtle and he'll help you
in all likelihood,
take you to a
you're
secret
dead, right?
island.
So you have guaranteed death in the death chamber with the state executioner.
Yeah.
Or you can go in the ocean and try swimming. I'll go for the ocean, man. Just go for it. Whatever.
I mean,
Or
being
not-
put
not-
up against
not
a
only
wall
that-
and shot is more instant then, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, but it's the anticipation, right? I'll tell you what.
The anticipation
Here's
of
what I would
swimming
prefer.
off?
I'd prefer not to know that I was sentenced to death and then just have like a surprise and have no idea it happened. Like, let me go to bed one night and have them tell me, don't worry, you're not being sentenced to death.
They could just gas your room.
Yeah. Just suck the air out or something, or
Suck the air out. Oh, so you
And
just
then-
will fall asleep.
just fall asleep and then carbon monoxide.
Yeah.
And
That'll
you just
do
don't
it.
wake up.
Perfect.
Yeah, why don't we
Interesting.
do that? You just
Yeah.
fall asleep and you don't wake up.
Yeah, just put them in a sealed room. Go to sleep.
But not even tell them. Just like, I don't believe in the death penalty. I think it's wrong. I don't think anyone deserves to die. It's a really, really tough moral, ethical situation.
Someone just said death by Kofifi.
Yes.
Kofifi?
The
Well,
only
like
way to
drinking
go.
too much
I
coffee?
appreciate that comment.
Mark says, Dallas and South Texas are very liberal compared to the rest of the state. It's been shocking to see how many Texans support these shutdowns. People are nuts, man.
Yeah, it's
The
weird.
Jack-o'-lantern says, make Texas great again by keeping out the commies. You know what? This is what I don't get. Just let them lock it all down. Just let them do it. Fine. Fine, whatever. Figure out how you got to survive. But when they say we must lock down, say, okay. You know why? Who do you think's going to survive in a total apocalyptic scenario? The urban liberals who are demanding money from the government, or the conservatives who live in semi-rural areas who believe in personal responsibility?
Yep.
It's like, dude, if you
I'm
want
gonna
to
go with the
sink the
latter
boat
there.
you're on, okay, fine, because I know how to swim and you don't.
Yep.
I'm not really advocating for that, but what are these, like, they don't seem to understand, like, how much dude, New York would be a nightmare.
God, I'm so glad I'm not there anymore.
People will be drinking each other's blood.
Exciting.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm only half kidding, too.
Very metal.
Dave, thanks for the super chat. Mark Martinez says, Tim, have MSNBC or CNN ever asked you to guest appear for them? If they haven't, and they did, would you show up? Which host would you prefer to engage in a debate? I don't like debates at all. I don't debate anybody. I'll have a discussion. Debates are weird. Debate is like this premise where you think you're right and you're battling to prove you're right or something. I don't understand what the point is. I'll have a discussion with somebody because there's probably a lot of things I don't know, and we'll talk about it. That's about it. And if I end up having things that I think are wrong, well, the discussion is so that we both can improve our understanding. But I have been on MSNBC one time after I got attacked by anti-capitalist, essentially, our equivalent of Antifa back in 2011. They had me on to talk about it. That was a while ago. And I don't think I have been on MSNBC or CNN since. I don't think I've ever been on CNN. I've been on Fox News several times. It's really funny, too. Because when I worked for Fusion, which is like super far left, I got invited onto Fox News, and they told me to go do it. And I was like, okay. And then a bunch of people at the company got mad at me. And I was like, but they told me to do this. What are you mad at me for? Yeah. But I would go on MSNBC or CNN, and it wouldn't be a debate. I don't care who I talk to. I'll talk to anybody. It'll be interesting. It'll never happen, though, because they want to control the narrative. Gary says Dallas is heavily liberal, and the governor has been against it. California has released thousands. Yikes. Andrew says Arbery dividing people as well. Absolutely.
Thank you, Sparka.
Super Bam Bam says, Tim, why you keep touching yourself? You've tugged on your shirt about 40 times, according to chat at this time. It's because my shirt
It's
keeps
over 100
drooping.
and I think 120 now.
My shirt droops, and so I straighten it.
Fix it.
Have you noticed my neck starts going down, and so I go like that
No,
and then put it back up?
no one has.
I think it bothers Tim.
Because they don't know.
Now they know.
Yeah.
Should fix your shirt.
Fredfooter says, would you moderate a political debate at any level for the 2020 election? If so, would you wear an all-black suit and tie with a fancy beanie? I would not moderate a political debate at any level. I don't like debates. I could have a discussion with somebody.
But the second question though.
Absolutely
Would I
not.
wear an all-black suit? Absolutely not.
Of course not.
I got
But
invited.
the fancy beanie though.
I got invited to the Clinton.
I want to see the fancy beanie.
I got invited to the Clinton Foundation gala, and this was, I think, in maybe I can't remember what year it was, 2013 or 2014, and I said, only if I can wear my normal clothes, and they said it's a black tie affair. And I said, too bad, and I didn't do it. Don't care. The last chicken nugget says, I can't wait for the 20 to 30 years from now when a document titled "The New American Civil War" magically comes to light. Yeah, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The Buzz says Sidney Powell and Tim Fitton deserve the Presidential Medal of Freedom. John Burkett says, Tim, shirt tug game on point. But see, the problem is no one's ever pointed out the shirt tug thing before, and I've been wearing this shirt for 2 years now?
Yep.
Yeah,
I did it.
know.
I did it the night before you guys got back.
Yep.
I pointed it out.
This is your fault.
It's my fault.
Oh my
I don't
gosh.
mind at all.
OCD, bro.
It
Adam.
becomes a thing now.
Yeah.
Everyone's loving it. It's great.
Too funny.
Ceylon Blue says, did you see the tweets about people in SC that were in a subway with rocket launchers? Thread had homophobic photo edits on the pics. X2 double standards. Yeah, I've seen some of the rocket launcher pics.
Yeah, I've seen
Ultimately, if someone's acting legally, I don't know what the
Is
problem
it loaded though? It's like
I think-
who knows.
I think one of the problems, though, is there's absolutely a double standard. Well, I think anecdotally, there's a bunch of videos where you can see black people carrying guns and getting stopped, and it's nuts.
Okay.
That's why I'm like, dude, we need more, the NRA should be 100% on top of this.
Yeah, I
of
agree.
I don't
course.
think they care. I think it's tribal, though.
Yeah.
There's a video where a black dude's walking around with a rifle, and a bunch of SUVs swarm him and get on the ground, get on the ground.
think
And
I've
they're
seen
at
this video.
gunpoint, they're pointing at him.
Yeah.
And he lays down to take his gun away. And then there are videos where there's two guys that walk around with guns, and the police are like, just want to make sure they're not automatic. All right, you're good to go.
Yep.
Now, that could be selective, filming, right?
True.
Because there was a video I saw of a white guy with it was legally a pistol, but it was modified, so as far as the average person could tell from far away, it looked like a rifle.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But it was legally a pistol, and so the cops came and stopped him and detained him, and it was a huge issue. So I don't know what happens. Let's see what we got. Charles says, when it comes to who will win in November, Biden or Trump, I put my money on Vegas. Totally agree. Etler the Dark says, so it has come to this. No context needed. Eric says 100 TP tugs per hour. Oh, more than that. You have no idea. Because when the camera's not on, I'm going like this.
I'm shocked he hasn't ripped it
Gotta
yet.
get it all out.
No, when you wind up a toy or bring it back, that's what he does. Every so often he needs to reset.
I actually have this big glass chamber, and I go inside, and I have to get all the tugs out, but it generates a ton of energy, which powers the studio.
It's so cost
Also powers
effective.
the beanie.
I love
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it's the best. Thank you, Tim.
Ferocious Cake says, whoa, you guys see this? U of A professor arrested on charges of ties to China. I mean, that happens.
Wouldn't be the first.
That's
yeah,
happened a lot.
Not the
Right.
first.
Mark says, see the White House press conference. I think about 5 different reporters asked the same question about tests despite getting the same answers. It's no wonder Trump walked off. It's pointless talking to them. Yup. And that
Agreed.
woman, what's her face from CNN, was arguing with Trump.
Yeah.
Trump's like, not you, her. And she goes, but I have questions. No, her. But I have questions. Okay, I'm out. And then he just like walks off.
But she had questions, Tim.
Dude, I'd throw them out. I'd be like, if you say one more word, can you escort them out? Thank you.
Yeah.
But I guess he can't do that. He got sued.
Really?
When he took away Jim Acosta's press pass.
Oh, man.
So he did the right thing. I love it. He just like, thank you, everybody. And he walks away.
I agree. It's like,
And they were
you're not going
mad.
to listen to
Aw,
me?
poor
You're going
baby.
to argue with me?
They
I'm
argue.
out of here.
They argue we shouldn't show his press events because he's lying. Then they demand. They demanded press events because he stopped them. Then he brings them back and they say, "Oh, we can't show this. He's lying." It's like, shut up. You people are awful. I can't stand these people.
Yep.
Nicholas says, the Dems running Biden is proof that within the next 25 years, the party will attempt to run an artificial AI candidate. Black Mirror is here.
Oh, man.
I mean, what if they use CGI Joe Biden to debate? Wouldn't it be funny if like
Whoa.
Joe Biden's standing on stage and he's not really moving, and then he moves like this? Well, Trump,
Like
I
animatronic?
personally disagree. That'd be great. I'd
be
be like,
Amazing.
yes.
I would
Freaky.
watch that.
Like not even good animatronics, like
Yeah.
Chuck E. Cheese level, like 30-year-old banjo playing Chuck E. Cheese Joe Biden. Matthew says, Simp is now banned on Twitch. With the word, is it really?
Seriously?
ML says, it says a lot about conservative media that my best talking points come from a guy as left as Tim. You do really do a great service, brother in liberty. Appreciate it. Not Heisenberg says, can you tug your shirt, please? No, get out of here. LR Design Studios, Lori Sullivan says, the left is becoming irrelevant as more people realize the conversation is on the right and the left only shames and screeches. I agree.
Conversations.
The Grizzly says, did you guys get the new Ikora set in Magic? I heard they had Godzilla cards in that set. What kinds of decks would you build? And who are your favorite Godzilla monsters if you watched the movies? I haven't, have you?
I haven't played Ikora yet. I actually just re-downloaded Arena on my computer, and I was just checking it out. And Ghidorah, is that the Hydra, like the multi-headed dragon?
No idea.
I think it's.
Why was it
I don't
Arena?
remember. That's my favorite Godzilla monster.
The multi-headed one.
The multi-headed
Yeah.
dinosaur. Sweet.
Hydra Dragon thing or what?
Yeah, I forget the name of it though, but
Word.
yeah, he's cool.
Let's see. Cranberry says, our goal, the right, is liberty and tolerance. So if you can tolerate us and not call us, including liberals and conservatives, evil, God willing. Nicholas says, Tim, Jesus, Lydia, do you think that in the near future with devices like Neuralink, politics will get more or less divided? Man, I don't know.
I think less divided.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
Yeah.
a lot of people are more similar than they let on or
It's-
want to believe.
It's not that. Once they create, there's two things that will change the world. Have you seen Altered Carbon?
Oh, Ghidorah. Yeah, Ghidorah is the
Ghidorah?
name. Sorry, I was people in chat were.
Have you seen
helping me
Altered
out.
Carbon?
I have, yeah.
Where they have the cortical stack that stores their consciousness?
Yeah,
All of
yeah.
a sudden your body is irrelevant.
Yeah, it's just a sleeve you
And you
slip
can-
in and out of.
But so that also plays into the other idea of virtual worlds. So in Altered Carbon, they have like, they can go into virtual and there's constructs they can be in.
Right.
But dude, I'll tell you what, as soon as we have Neuralink, which can transmit virtual reality into your brain, so your brain experiences Skyrim, politics will be over because people will literally be like, bro, I don't care. Just make sure there's food on my table so I can go back to Skyrim.
I don't agree with that.
People are going to want to live in other worlds, man.
Not everybody. There's going to be some people that will forever deny Neuralink and will fight it.
But in 70 years? Nope.
You're right. In 70 years, yeah, maybe.
There will be an older generation like, I'm not getting that thing put in my brain. And then their kids are born. And
Might
then
always be that faction, though.
yeah,
I see
for
that
sure.
being a thing.
Luddites, they'll exist.
Yeah.
But there's going to be people who, in 100, 200 years, it'll be a small minority that doesn't.
Yeah.
Like even in Altered Carbon, they have the neo-Catholic
Right.
that like refuse to be reloaded into new bodies. For those
Right,
that are familiar
right.
in the show, it's basically like if you die, there's a device in your neck that stores your consciousness and they can transfer it to a new body.
Right.
So that will change a whole lot of our perception about, race and stuff like that.
Gender.
But it's not so much about the changing bodies that I'm bringing up. It's the virtual reality.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, if people are going to want to live in the world where they can control things and be happy, and it's like,
Yeah, but more about the politics side of it, though. It's because we're going to become more connected, and that's really what the question is whether or not it's going to be more or less divided, and I think it's going to be less because
Right.
we're going to be connected on such a like we're already more connected in this, like the internet right now. We're connected to a bunch of people who are connected to a bunch of people.
But I would say yes. The problem is the interference from the big companies, the censorship,
Okay.
has made the divide 100 times worse.
Okay.
Absolutely has. So if they created a space,
But will they have the same amount of power though? It's like, all right, it's time to vote.
Yes.
You just close your eyes and you just tell your Neuralink who you're voting for. Boom, and that's it. It's like I don't know.
it'll get really, really, really bad, really bad. Because you'll have a bunch of people now being like, oh, I'm going to vote, just whatever, Democrat.
Because they don't know.
They don't know or care. People aren't going to care. They're going to be playing Skyrim.
Unless to vote, you actually have to watch the video in your head.
Nah.
Something
What
like that.
video?
Who knows? I don't know. I'm just like coming
who
up with
controls the
something,
video?
It's
Yeah.
like,
If everyone, in my opinion, if every single person in the country voted,
Okay.
you'd have a whole bunch of people who don't know, don't care, and don't want to voting.
but do you think that would make they would be the majority? That's who would they like whoever they voted for would be the person who got the power then?
Yeah,
Or
then-
the people who pay attention are the majority that they would actually make the decision.
If
Who do you think in
Wait.
that sense?
what do you, people are going to vote for
The people
whoever
who don't care, that don't know,
will always win.
will always win.
Always win. You know why? Because the politician's going to say, in order to win, I just need to get all these people who don't care. You vote for me, and I'll give you $1,000.
Okay.
They're going to be like, yeah.
But
whatever.
they actually have to care a little bit to even listen to that person say that.
So the point is, the guy will just run ads only saying, I'll give you $1,000 over and over and over again everywhere.
Okay.
And so that way they'll be like, I don't know, this other guy, I don't know what he's all about. Something about immigration. The other guy's going to give me money, so I'll vote for him. Kind of like Andrew Yang, to be honest. Although Andrew Yang had a whole lot of really great policies. Perhaps that's what he was trying for. I don't know. But what ends up happening is you'll end up with emotional voters versus logical voters.
But you've said it before. People will walk in and be like, "Man, I don't know, whatever," and that's what they're going to end up doing. They're not going to.
Yeah,
they're
Democrat
not going
across
to
the
be
board.
out there looking at ads, watching TV, looking at the ads.
No, their friends are going to be like, you're voting for a Democrat, and they'll go, oh yeah, sure.
Okay.
And they're gonna
Or
go,
you're voting for a Republican? Okay.
But urban centers with dense populations, like the popular vote, it's why we have the electoral college.
Okay.
So I guess if we maintain an electoral college, that could have a serious impact on how the vote, works.
Okay.
But if it would, so I guess that's what it really comes down to. For the most part, though, I think Republicans tend to be engaged. At least what we're seeing right now.
Okay.
The right is people who are debating and challenging and things like that, and the left is a bunch of emotional people who aren't paying attention. Like, dude, I got to be honest.
Okay.
If I guarantee you 90% of my friends who do vote Democrat, if I actually sat down with them for 10 minutes, they wouldn't.
Okay.
And I'd be like, I'm not.
And that's what happened to me.
But for real.
No, I know you are.
So think about the millions of Democrat voters who have no idea what's going on and just go Democrat.
Yep.
Whatever.
Okay.
No idea. And then what do they do for the past 3 years? Scandals, getting nothing done, no issues. So.
But I don't think you're taking into the what Neuralink will become in 70 years, 100 years. It's not, you're almost not going to be able to just be clueless on what's happening, because you're going to be connected. It'll be, I guess I'm making,
now,
I'm
man.
making, yeah, but not inside in my brain. Like that's like another level of connected that we don't even understand yet.
There's
We're
not
there.
going to be a point where you won't have that choice. Unless you're talking about the Borg. Then the Borg, there would be no vote. It would be a constant buzz.
Okay.
So if we have Neuralink, then you would basically be like, you'd be sitting there and you'd think Twitter, and then the thing would pop up and you'd be looking at it in your mind.
Right.
You'd be choosing to do these things.
Yeah, but that's a good point, though. The whole Borg thing. That's kind of what I'm trying to lean towards. It's like, sure, it might not be like one voiceless, whir in our head that you don't really know what's happening. But if all of us are, every single person is like engaging and
That's what Twitter is.
Yeah, but Twitter, as you told me, is only like what 2%.
But I'm saying
of the
those
population.
those 2% of people who are active and engaged on Twitter,
Okay.
are ripping each other's heads off and at war.
That's true.
So what do you think would happen if you plugged everybody into that war? Mm-hmm. Then you'd have a civil war in 2 seconds.
Or the majority would be like, you small minority over there and you small minority over there, shut up.
Nope. Because
that could happen though. You
No,
can't
it
just
can't.
say nope.
yes, I can. Because
Okay.
we have
well, I nope you back.
we have
Nope.
every historical reference to say that you're wrong.
Okay.
In the Revolutionary
But
War,
we're not there yet.
In the Revolutionary War,
They weren't connected in their brains. This is a whole nother thing we don't understand yet because we're
Dude,
not there.
It doesn't matter if one person takes a gun and goes and starts shooting people, and then
Okay.
someone else reacts to it. The majority can say no all they want. It won't change what's happening.
Okay.
So when the majority in the colonies said no to war, and the revolutionaries said we're doing it anyway,
Right.
they did it anyway.
Okay.
So if you have everybody plugged in and 70% of people are saying everyone shut up, we'll stop, then someone's going to be like, I'm being oppressed, and they're going to go out and do something nuts. And the other faction is going to be like, we warned you all and you told us to stop, and now look what's happening. And that's literally what's going on with Twitter and Facebook and YouTube.
Okay.
Even though the majority of people are saying Kanye West, Kim Kardashian, leave me alone, the warring factions are still showing up in the street, punching each other, and everything's still going nuts. So even if you connected everybody into everyone's minds,
Okay.
it's always most people who say no,
Sure.
stop, I don't want to be involved, and then a small handful of crazies pick up arms and go nuts, and it
Okay.
drags everybody into it.
Yeah, I'm not saying that can't happen. Sure. That's not what I was saying. I'm saying that there is still the possibility of what I said to come true.
I just think
We don't understand. Neuralink is something that's going to bring us all together on a different level that we don't understand yet.
I think it's fair to say that we don't know what the full effects will be if we're fully plugged in.
Yeah.
But I also think it's fair to point out the precursor is things like Twitter.
Sure.
Where we can see what happens when large swaths of the population are placed into this virtual political space.
I still feel like the Twitterverse is not this, like we're still kind of figuring it out. Like we got to wait like 10 more years to really understand like what it's doing to us as a society as a whole. You know what I mean? Like what you're just saying right there. It's like still only 2% of the population are on Twitter. Not everybody's on Twitter.
Look at the data from LexisNexis going back to 2008,
Okay.
where phrases like critical race theory, social justice, feminism, racism skyrocketed like several just thousands of times, thousandfold plus.
Yeah.
Whereas the news used to say racism, like 10 times a month, it now says it 1,000,000 times a month.
Right, exactly.
Now
We're
plug
that much more connected.
everyone into that.
Okay.
And they will go insane in seconds.
Right, but it's also the people that are making those things trend are not fully knowledgeable about everything that's happening.
They don't care. They want money.
Right, the
So-
specifics of them. But as
So
a
if you-
whole, I don't know if I agree with that.
You plug everybody in, and you're still going to have 80% of people saying, I don't care, and I'm not paying attention. And then of the small factions, you're going to have people vying for influence, lying and manipulating to gain that influence. Then you will see all of these people right now who don't read Vox and BuzzFeed. Now they're plugged into it, and the access is substantially easier, and it can just appear in front of them or whatever the circumstance is where they can just know it. And now you've rapidly hyperpolarized all of the masses.
But at the same
lead to
time,
civil war
right
faster than-
now we're seeing this shift where people are starting to look over at those people and be like, actually, you're not right. Actually, you seem pretty ignorant on what's actually going on, and you're just screaming. And we're already seeing a shift.
Maybe-
It's already changing.
Maybe, but the problem is 300 people went out January 20th, 2017, starting fires and throwing bricks and running through the streets of DC.
Okay.
In a town of millions of people, it takes only hundreds to destabilize everything. During Occupy Wall Street, it took one pepper spraying to spark a national movement.
Okay.
So if you have most people saying enough, perhaps what could happen is these establishment resistance types get backed into a corner and then snap. And then
Okay.
say our only opportunity is to go nuts because we've lost all our power. So first of all, I think if you have Neuralink, you're not going to get people forced to do anything, which means they'll still ignore everything.
Okay.
It basically just means that you've got your phone in your head. Well, people still don't use Twitter, even though they can use their phone to get it if they wanted to.
That's like level 1 Neuralink. Yes.
So then at what point do people lose their free will?
That's a good point. That's a
It's
good
not
question.
It's not going to happen. The moment Neuralink flips on a switch where it says we're taking your free will, there will be riots, explosions, and humanity will eat itself alive.
I agree.
So there's going to be a lot of people who reject it. There's going to be, Luddites and people who refuse to get it. It could be 100 or 200 years when most people are totally fine with it. And then they implement the evil overlord presses the button and activates no free will or something.
Yeah.
But there will always be some people who won't wire in,
Yeah.
and then they'll go arm up. And then that'll be it. Then some people will see some things and it'll change and disrupt. I don't think that we can. It's very likely that right now, based on what Neuralink is, we are going to have a Borg situation where people lose free will.
Okay.
Which means even if you're wired in, I don't got to listen to what you have to say. People would go insane. Could you imagine like trying to sit down and like watch a movie and you hear someone screeching?
Definitely not. I couldn't handle that.
So then why would anyone do it different from what Twitter already is? I think what Neuralink will do is if we get to the point where we can actually project experiences into your brain, then people will just buy experiences like video games.
Total Recall.
You get to right, exactly. You get to actually be in this world. People will be like, you know what they'll do? You put in the Neuralink, you send yourself to the beach while your body just goes through the motions doing the job. Think about that. If we get to that point, and then you like come to and you're like, wow, I just worked 8 hours and I didn't remember.
Yep.
I was at the beach. Just chilling. Virtual reality. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start speeding up to the super chat, so I apologize.
Oh, we're already 10 minutes over.
Yeah, we're way over.
Well, we kind of went on a tangent there.
That's great.
I couldn't help myself.
But I do think that we actually might have to super speed through because we literally have like a couple hundred super chats.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone.
All right, let's see.
Thank you, everybody.
Let's go for it.
You guys are fantastic.
Overwhelmed.
Oh man, there is so much.
That was a lot of fun to debate you there, Tim.
It was good. It was
great.
good. It's always good to
really
have a
fun.
little conflict on the show.
Yeah.
Alexander says letting people starve to death was the second thing that happened after the Russian Revolution. That is after they put the farmers in camps.
Yep.
Sean says sending some of my Trump bucks to recommend that the lady crochets a beanie for the top of that UFO. Also, what do you think about underwater farming and livable habitats? BioShock. Totally down.
I don't know if underwater, but they are actually working on these floating islands that are self-sustaining universities. And they're actually colleges that they're really it's like the beginning of it, but they're making it a school, so it's kind of cool. They get the funding. I'm sure it's a lot easier, but basically it's a fully self-sustaining island that has everything you can think of. Like, it's pretty cool, and it's
we can
cool.
make biodomes in jars. You ever see those things?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
where they're like it's self-sustaining.
Eco something.
But I guess the sunlight's coming in. Why don't we do that?
I've actually been to the biodome.
Oh really?
Pretty
the
cool.
real one?
Yeah, the real one. It's in Arizona.
Yeah. There's two, aren't there?
I've been to Biodome 2. I don't know if the first one still exists or where it is.
It failed though, didn't it? Like they tried to do it.
No, they were in there for a few years.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
They made a movie about it.
Yeah.
Pauly Shore was there.
Biodome.
Jack says, wait, so we don't get to have a civil war? Well, we'll see, I guess.
Yeah.
Mike says, Seattle port cop fired for speaking out against tyranny. Thoughts?
Shame.
Hey, if he's speaking out against tyranny,
firing him.
Doing the right thing. Free Nation says, what's your take on the silence of climate change activists through all this? We've shut down the global economy. You'd figure they'd be lauding the impact, putting aside Venice canals just on CO2, because they don't want to accept that all the misery coming from this is what they were proposing. Hammer says, please stop giving Jon Stewart credit for a format that Rush Limbaugh created in 1992-96. Kilborn was the first host in 96 of the show, then Stewart in 98. Rush first at Comedy Politics TV. I'm not saying Jon Stewart created it. I'm saying that back in the day, we trusted him because he was honest about it.
Yeah, but was Rush on the left, though? Wasn't he a Republican?
Yeah.
Right. So you were saying that John was leading
leader of the
on the left,
Yeah.
right?
Who was intellectually honest and funny.
Right.
And now we've lost those thought leaders.
Right.
So you're left with a weird husk of emotionally reactive leftists.
Yeah, that's not the same.
Yeah. Maris says, this lockdown reminds me of the story of Killdozer. Tread on those who tread on you. Yikes. Keys says, love the show and love the fact that you are based in facts. Being a black conservative, I know the struggles of trying to communicate with the left. Appreciate you guys and your honesty. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hudson says, I don't think the Arbery saga and the subsequent fake news and hate crime hoax is going to reinforce tribalism on partisan lines. It's probably designed to instigate race riots. And it might.
Yeah, maybe.
Jester says, donating for the second time because Adam likes Wheel of Time, the greatest series of all time. Keep it the good work, guys.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. See, shout out the book.
I heard a rumor that they're actually making it a TV series. I don't know how I feel about it, but if they mess it up, I'm gonna be pissed.
They're working on
And they
messing
might.
mine up.
Oh
Yeah.
man, they better do it.
They're going
right.
to inject a bunch of weird feminism stuff into it.
That's what they're doing.
I
with mine.
heard about that actually.
what?
They might.
With the series that I really love.
Oh
Which one?
no.
The Terry Pratchett series, the Discworld series.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Well,
messing it up.
that's what happens, man. Let's see. Darth Zaketh says, did you hear about the police officer Greg Anderson in Washington that got fired for a YouTube video speaking out about liberty and integrity? There's a GoFundMe. I will check that out. That sounds, I think I saw that video.
Jeez.
Big Daddy says, do you guys ever struggle with the thought of maybe being annoying to close friends or family for having political opinions and really like talking about controversial subjects? I feel it a lot. I don't talk to my family about these things.
Nope. I don't care what people think about me. or talk, like, whatever. I give my family my honest opinion. I give my friends my honest opinion. I give you my honest opinion. That's all I can say. It's
annoying when you talk their ears off and they don't care. But I'll tell you what, if someone came to me and said, hey, I heard that Trump did a backflip and he didn't, I'd be like, well, he didn't do a backflip. I can show you the article if you're interested. Otherwise, we can go have pizza. It's up to you.
Right.
And if they're like, well, I'll be like, look, if you want to have an argument about whether he did or didn't, we can. I think it's kind of boring, but I'm telling you, he didn't.
I bet a lot of my family is really stoked that I'm like more in line with Trump now than I was ever before.
Because Arizona conservatives or what?
No. My family in Illinois.
Oh, are they Illinois conservatives?
Probably. Would say that.
I mean, outside of Chicago, it's all Republican.
They're in the burbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Omniplex says, if you love Wheel of Time, you'll love Brandon Sanderson's collection of novels, collectively known as the Cosmere. I'd highly recommend starting with Mistborn by my favorite author.
I've read them all.
Have you really?
Well, Brandon Sanderson finished The Wheel of Time because Robert Jordan died before he could finish it. Although he did write the last book, or the end war anyway. But it was great, and that's how I found Brandon Sanderson, and I read all of his stuff. He's great.
Word. Kubomi says nicotine, like caffeine, is used in plants as an insecticide, and was widely used as this in the past. It is not known as an antiviral. Aaron Garcia says, because the Shapiro impression was spot on, LOL. Was it?
Nice.
That was pretty good.
JT says, love the show, guys. Keep up the good work. For whoever is looking for a good book, I highly recommend the Licanius trilogy by James Islington.
Cool.
Jackson says, first time catching the live, normally watch on 1.5 speed, speak faster.
How's that?
Local Costco replaced meats with the tofu deli meat. Supermarkets still have meat, so maybe it's quality issue. There are no chicks with D's. Johnny only dudes with Bobs.
Wow, that was good.
That was great.
Really good.
Auctioneer.
Jackson here Revenge says, movie to watch, Fight Club, manga to read, Berserk, game to play, RDR2. People to love, all kinds, freedom to give up none.
Red Dead 2 is really good.
Bastion's mom says, I finished The Expanse, need another recommendation. Also, Rhea, Revelations by Michael J. Sullivan is an amazing book series for those looking for something good to read.
Man, The Expanse was a good show.
It was a good show.
I don't have anything offhand.
It's really funny because people are always like, on the Joe Rogan podcast, they said, that guy talks really fast, he's got to be on uppers. It's like, dude, I try really hard to speak slower.
Yeah. This is his natural tone.
But seriously. I am on no uppers
and
other
speed.
than, I guess right now, caffeine.
Coffee, yeah.
Yeah, you do drink coffee.
But I drink less than the average person.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
Yeah.
You drink 1 cup in the morning, is that it?
It's 2 cups.
Okay.
Yeah. It's because I do a big glass. But like the average person drinks like 4 a day, I think, or some ridiculous number. Maybe I'm wrong.
4 cups a day?
I think
because they have
I drink 2 cups.
Because they have 2 in the morning and then 2 in the afternoon or something like that.
Okay.
I just have I've been doing this oatmeal coffee. It's actually a little bit less than I think technically. No, I think it's about 2 cups of coffee. Yeah. But that's I just talk fast, man.
Yes, you do.
Action Bob says, Tim, I beg you, stop conflating the thin blue line with code of silence. Thin blue line is the border between the lawful and the criminal. Don't cross the line is an admonition to stay honorable. I will keep that in mind in the future. I appreciate it. Doctor says, what is your opinion on objectivism as a philosophy to live by? I am not super familiar with objectivism, but I understand it's like similar to libertarianism. I don't know. Nope says, did you guys see the Seattle police officer who made the video telling cops to adhere to the Constitution and protect citizens' rights has been fired? Seattle PD basically proved his whole point. Good for him.
Yep.
Good for him. I'm sad to see him get fired. That's BS, and I hope he does well.
Well, he went against the gang.
Yep.
Basically.
Yep.
They're like, whoa, you're out.
How dare he try to uphold his oath to the Constitution?
Right.
Matt Diff says, a decade ago, the left was messing with chemical execution supplies to try and kill it. States were looking for other chemical options, and the left sued, trying to say cruel and unusual. Interesting. Who's that? That was from Matt Diff. Paxton Fairbanks says, Utah used firing squads for the religious reason of blood atonement and was the last state to execute someone with a firing squad. Wow.
Yikes.
East Shore says, I'm being retested now and I live with my dad. He is positive. I take care of him and work isn't paying. I'm salary. They have a manager in my place, but not telling me if I can come back. Should I file for unemployment? I would assume so, right?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you try at least?
Yeah.
Right?
Vivian says, how do you think people will react when they don't get their jobs back? By the way, Department of Labor statistics show 22.8% unemployment when looking at the U6 and not the U3. And there's a link. Interesting. I think people will lose purpose and then seek to get that purpose from somewhere, and that can get really dangerous. I think that could lead to an escalation of conflict.
I think people have already lost their purpose.
But when people need it.
I know they do.
They're going to start getting extremely politically active.
I agree.
And that can get bad.
Or good.
I don't think it could be good. Because
if
there's no
more
outlet.
people become politically active.
Where's their outlet right now? Demanding a reopening?
Yeah.
That could make them way more conservative. So
Okay.
maybe that results in them reopening. I guess would be a good thing. Featherfall says the reason the big cities in Texas are blue is due to West Coasters moving here for the lower living costs they otherwise couldn't afford in Cal. They moved to cities because they refused to live in the bush. Lubbock, Texas rep. Actually, I think I heard this from Ben Shapiro, that in Texas, the Republicans are mostly from out of state. Did you see the same thing?
No, I hadn't heard that. It's
Maybe I'm
interesting.
wrong.
Maybe
Maybe
so.
I am wrong.
No, I don't know.
Slosher says, Tim, have you ever read Ayn Rand? Your story about refusing to go to black tie event because you would have to compromise makes you sound like you're one of her characters. Huh. Maybe we're all in this book. BioShock was awesome. Bukalik says, I started watching your videos after the Rogan show and have to say, if every news agency were as honest in reporting facts as you, fake news wouldn't be a thing. I wish. Yeah. Badass Tutor says, Tim Pool, the most conservative non-conservative.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean,
true.
look at Adam. You've been a bit more conservative on certain things than me. I mean,
I guess so, yeah.
you know, it just like everybody's got some left, some right,
Yeah.
some more than others. You know what I mean?
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's like I agree
Yeah.
with both sides, and I disagree with mostly the left.
All right, let's see. Now, where were we? Because we just had that big old jump happen.
Oh man, another jump, huh?
Oh yeah, I love it. It's great.
Thanks
wait.
everybody. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with us.
Yeah, it's really fun.
I know we're 20 minutes over.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
All right, I have no idea. Okay, I went too far. Okay, let's see. Where are we?
By now I'd have a glass of whiskey. I'd be playing.
No, super
Playing
chats are way
Doom.
better.
Let's
Way
see.
better.
Here we are. Andrew Nelson says, Captain Tim Luke Picard of the Starship Beanie Prize, infamous around the galaxy for his shirt tugging, just like Jean-Luc.
That's great.
Let's see. Where are we now? St. Miles says, Joe Max Headroom Biden. Doctor says, also within 2 days of making a Twitter account and getting over 4,000 unique impressions on a comment on one of your tweets, they deboosted me. Censorship is real. Oh, yeah, for sure. They want to stop new accounts from starting up like that.
Jeez.
Spartacus says, thanks for all you do, Tim. You're my Walter Cronkite. I hope you understand how important what you do is for us in the absence of a fourth estate. There are a lot of other people who do well, too. I just hope more people try to do their best. Flood says, Trump, I say. There you go. Trump, I say. Haywood says, if Neuralink makes us smarter, we will be more united because there won't be any more leftists. Ah, that's a good one.
Zing.
Jeff Brock, thanks for the super chat. Henrik, thanks for becoming a member.
Thank you.
Thomas Lorbiter says, I like Monster Hunter International.
Haven't played it.
Is that an anime?
I thought it was a game.
Oh, yeah.
Monster Hunter.
Raven,
I don't know.
thanks for the super chat. Azazel says, Upload and Amazon Prime series is a good time. I saw that. I didn't know if I was going to watch it. All Metal Mike says, where is the ACLU? Crickets. Oh, no. No, they're just focused on leftist social justice stuff.
Yep.
Austin Laverty says, who wants to go to Wuhan Wild Wings for dinner and beers when this is over? Dude,
Thank you.
one of the first places I'm going is B-Dubs.
I think I'm good.
I'm straight up B-Dubs. Soon as this
What's
thing-
B-dubs?
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man.
No, I'm going to Blackbird. Get
Oh,
my
that's
own
right, yeah.
my own
You
wings.
get your wings,
Yeah.
I'll get my wings. We'll
Yeah.
get wings. I love me some wings.
I love me some wings.
Cliff
I
says, the
love
social
wings.
media companies have become the meme. You face twit. Yep. Trouble Down says, thoughts on Bezos buying AMC theaters?
Did he?
I'm 100% for it. Hope you're all staying safe. Thank you for all you do. I mean,
Wait, seriously? Is that a thing?
I haven't heard that. I welcome it, but I also don't like it because Bezos has too much. Amazon's buying too much. It's
Yeah.
getting too big.
Yep.
They're gonna
Scary.
overpower everything. But I like the idea of like, man, when Bezos steps in, he really does ramp up the technology, you know, on like Whole Foods and stuff.
Yeah.
Cerelio says, Y'all gonna do me like that? I don't usually catch the live show, but I greatly enjoy Tim and Adam's differing opinions. Variety is crucial. I completely agree.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Well,
Yeah.
we've gone way over.
Yeah, it's funny though. We're born 2 days apart. Well, I mean, I'm older than him by a few years, but your birthday is 2 days after mine.
Yeah.
So we're both, and it's funny. We're very similar on many things,
Yep.
but we're very different on many things also.
That's like normal people.
Yeah, that's true.
It's about as simple as it gets, man.
Yep.
All right, let's see what we got. We got a couple more super chats. We'll read through them. Nugget says, if you love Brandon Sanderson, I recommend the lit RPG genre, books like Ascend Online and Awaken Online. The lit RPG genre is about virtual reality.
Sounds really cool. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Chris Eggleton says, when can we expect a Harumph t-shirt? When the beanies come, I suppose. We'll get on it.
Figure it out.
Jeff Dewar says, I work at Costco and was told to go home if I didn't wear a mask. Went home early that day. Wow.
Wow.
Well, we are about ready to wrap up, so if you haven't already,
wow.
smash that like button. Let's get 50
Do it
million
now.
likes. Tell
50
YouTube we
million.
are the best.
We are
Like
the
it.
best.
Thank you all for the super
And
chats. Thanks for
subscribe
hanging out.
and follow me.
Tell your friends too.
Follow both of us.
Twitter and Instagram and YouTube. You can find my channel.
But follow Adam because you can send him stories
Yes.
that. So while I'm doing my thing throughout throughout the day, Adam's getting your suggestions so that when you come and do this live show,
Yep.
we talk about your ideas.
And I just tweeted something out, so hit me up.
Boom. There it is. And it's Monday, right?
It is Monday.
It
We
is.
will see you all tomorrow at 8 p.m. Thanks for hanging out. We will see you all next
Bye,
time.
guys.
Good night, everyone.